Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome out to another RGL.GG Invite Sixes cast. This is going to be a great one. It's Froyotech versus GlobalClan Ice. This is the upper bracket semifinals of RGL Invite season 5. Excuse me, I almost said season 6. I'm ahead of myself here, but my name is Godfather. I am joined by Jarrett on the mic. We have Dolphin behind the scenes as always. Jarrett, how are you doing this fine evening?
Pretty good. Both these teams have had some close matches in the past. Both of them clear-cut games. One of them a 4-3. One after that a 4-2. So seeing two more maps, especially with the Koth train continuing to roll, starting on Bagel tonight, and definitely really anticipating what the results are going to be after all is said and done. Is all ready to go and happening tonight.
Yep, so for the maps, we will be having Koth Bagel and then Villa followed by Process. So a few maps that maybe we don't see too much of throughout the season. Of course, we see Process all the time, but Villa definitely has not been a consistent pick, especially through playoffs. So I'm excited to see what teams do on that. Again, this is a best of 3 maps series. And on screen right now, we do see the pick bans. Jarrett, do you want to run us through those?
Yeah, we started with a ban phase. We went to Gully Wash and Via, going to be the bans that you see on the screen. And right after that is the picks of the maps that you'll be seeing played tonight at the bare minimum. It's going to be Bagel and then Villa. After that, you see 3 more map bans, 2 for Froyo, 1 for GCI. You have Metalworks, Clearcut, and Snakewater, and that left Process as the last map because I think Sunshine was the map that wasn't touched. I guess the last one you can consider that either a Sunshine ban or a Process pick, but either way, that is our 3 set of maps for tonight.
Very excited to see how these teams perform on Villa. I am going to be honest, I'm not very familiar with that map. I haven't casted a lot of it. I'm not even sure if it's been casted on stream this season. So as I said, very excited to see what teams are able to do on CP Villa. But again, our first map of the night of this best of 3 will be Koth Bagel. And now, before we go any further, let's run down these rosters real quick. Jarrett, do you want to take us through the Froyotech lineup?
Sure. So on Froyotech, as usual, you have Eric on Scout. Slumnish is also playing Scout as well. Blaze is on Roamer. Banny has moved over to Pocket for this season in case you haven't seen the matches lately and you've only been showing up for the playoff run. Aviv is on Demo and Skis is on Medic.
And then for the side of GlobalClan Ice, we have Yite and Brandslam on Scout, Laz and Ash on Soldier, Alex.exe is your demo man, and 404 holding it down on Medic. 2 terrific lineups here tonight to watch the number 1 versus the number 2 seed, perhaps, but not guaranteed, what we'll be seeing in a short while during the grand finals, which will absolutely be a fun match to watch. But I'm definitely excited to see what GlobalClan Ice is able to bring up here. Right now, you can see on stream the playoff path to grand finals. The winner of this automatically gets to finals. The loser will go on to face the winner of Rebirth Esports versus My Enemy List After Dark. That is happening, I believe, next Wednesday at 11 p.m. EST, so be sure to tune into that. And then you'll have that matchup, and then later down the line, of course, there is grand finals. So a little bit more TF2 to come, but Jarrett, are there any things that you're going to be looking at here in this matchup, specifically about Bagel or just overall? Anything you want to talk about here early on tonight?
Well, I guess we can go ahead and start with Bagel, considering we really want to save a lot of the 5CP talk until we get there, even though, it's kind of exciting. We haven't seen these teams play 5CP quite yet. Gonna have to wait a second for that to happen, though. I'd say for Bagel, you definitely want to put a lot of focus on what each flank is doing, because it's a little bit of a wide map. It's one of the few maps where if the flank makes a move through a door that's not really seen because of the walls in each of the houses, it can be a little bit difficult to spot it sometimes, and it might be difficult to also help those people even if you do see it, like maybe your flank getting jumped or something. So definitely a lot of eyes on them for plays that are more complex and just like, oh, running them, like you might see sometimes in Koth. So definitely excited to see a little bit more depth than you might see in other Koth fights. There's a lot of potential there. You are able to predict at this point. We have it on the screen right now. It seems like things are going a little bit more Froyotech favored, and that's to be expected considering they've got a long streak of victories as well as being the number 1 seed. But keep in mind, both matches between GCI and Froyotech have been very close this season, so it's definitely something to consider. But like I said before, we have the 5CP wild card, which I never would have expected that to be a thing. That's going to be peeking around the corner come map 2 that may surprise people. It could be really close, or it could be a little bit of a roll in either direction. It can be really exciting to see.
I'm absolutely excited to see these two maps. Once I mean, Bagel also isn't played all too much. Two new maps to the 6v6. Well, new relative. Of course, we have. If you compare anything to the long-standing maps such as Product, then absolutely new. But perhaps people are a bit unfamiliar with Bagel and Villa. But Bagel, one thing to note is the cap time on this 1 point is so fast. You step on it for a second, and before you know it, you've already capped the point. And that is something that teams have to work around, adapt to, and plan on it, and adapt their playstyle to that. How do you think either team might use the quick cap time to their advantage here tonight?
I think it lets you play more greedy. Most of the time, at least the higher up in the division you go, this reigns true. It can be really difficult to cap without winning the fight already. Trying to like sneak in a cap on, a lot of cap maps. I guess most traditionally Viaduct is the staple that you go to, considering it's been in the pool for the longest time. It can be really difficult if a team is still showing some sort of presence around the map for you to actually try to get the cap going in your direction without being punished in any capacity. But I would say that Bagel is a little bit different in that regard because it caps so fast. You get like a little bit of breathing room, and all of a sudden you can just stack a couple people on the cap, and it immediately goes your direction in the middle of the fight. And those seconds can make or break whether or not you win, because we've seen our fair share of amount of overtime during some of these Bagel matches. I know we haven't seen tons and tons of matches. Like we've seen a handful, but the matches that we have seen that we've gotten a couple rounds in, there's a surprising amount of overtime. Like there's a lot. So definitely very important to make sure that even if you're not going to necessarily pull the trigger, jump in, unload everything, and go into the other team. If you see even a little bit of breathing room, if there was ever going to be a map where you just, okay, let's play this a little bit slower, let's get on the cap, just cap it while we're fighting and have things be in our favor as we're taking the slow fight, this is definitely a map to do that. Although, other side of the coin, have to be very careful, because the one thing that's nice about not owning the point when you're taking the fight is if things do end up going a little bit longer, the respawners are in your favor. If you own the point on Koth, you respawn slower. So if you're in the middle of a fight and you accidentally cap in the middle of it and just lengthen your respawn timers after both teams lose a couple, it's going to be difficult for your fight number 2. So there's some pros, but there's some cons. You definitely have to, make a mental note of it as you're playing this map compared to others.
Absolutely would have to agree with all of that. For people who are just joining in, maybe a little late to the notification, no worries. We have not yet started. We're still waiting for GCI to finish up their pregame and get onto the server. This, of course, is upper bracket round 2 of Season 5 Invite 6's playoffs. Number 1 team Froyotech taking on GlobalClan Ice, who are ever in search of global domination here tonight. So this definitely should be a good one. It looks like GCI is beginning to join the server here, which means we're getting ever closer to the start of this match. Very excited to see how this one plays out.
Yep, definitely it is the time to pull out all the stops. We've seen some close matches in the regular season, but generally if you kind of feel like you're gonna make playoffs no matter what, which generally I feel like the first and second teams like kind of know that they're pretty well slated to make playoffs. There might be some individual levels of preparation that might not have been made in the regular season that are definitely going to pull out for playoffs, because if you lose it's in regular season, it's not the biggest deal if you feel like you're still going to make playoffs no matter what. But here, with elimination at your door, if you do not hit the mark and win your matches, definitely brings a much bigger incentive as an individual and as a team to make sure that you are trying your absolute hardest. Do not let anything go by. There's no more point for any sort of strat saving, because it all comes out tonight. And, tomorrow, if you survive, or theoretically tomorrow, you know what I mean, if you survive the match and continue on in the bracket.
Yeah, this is definitely a very important matchup for these two teams. It looks like the majority of players are in the server. Just watching some pregame frags. I just casually watched Habib hit a nice air shot there onto Ash. But are there any specific class matchups that you'll really be watching? Anybody maybe you'll be watching on the mids very intently, seeing what they're able to do for the team, what they'll be able to open up here in this first map?
Well, I'm gonna keep my eyes a lot on the flank because generally when you want to, start off pretty well in a Koth map, you really want to win the mid, even though there's a lot of time at stake, and really set the pace for the game. And I think it's pretty important to like have some sort of good plan for your flank. Like I said before, it's a really wide map. You have the two houses and the center of the point. So there's a lot of different ways that you can decide to initiate on a team whenever you feel like the perfect time is. And depending on how the other team is set up and where they're positioned, it might, make or break whether or not you're able to find success. So a lot of eyes, I would say, on the people that are definitely willing to break beam and gall out into the other side of the map, maybe even die for it. So definitely keeping my eye on Laz and Yite for GCI, and then other side of the coin, Blaze and Eric for Froyo, because I feel like what they decide to do as their opening to try to approach the enemy team is gonna either pay off really well or might be the thing that made them not necessarily win the mid.
Yeah, we'll have to see what those players are able to do for their teams. I'm going to be watching this demo matchup. Habib, definitely a top demo man, has been playing for Froyo for seasons upon seasons. They are, of course, defending champions for all of RGL history and plenty of ESEA titles as well. If Alex is able to put on a great show tonight, really put in that damage for his team, and as well the follow-up from the rest of the players on the side of GCI, if they're able to clean up that damage that Alex can put out, then GCI is going to have a very, very good shot at this match. But if anybody's, I don't want to say slacking, but if someone doesn't have a great night tonight on the side of GCI, it's going to be a very tough victory to achieve. I mean, obviously you're going up against the giants that are Froyotech. Everybody knows the name at this point. Don't even need to discuss how many things they've won, but GCI looking like a team that might be able to take home a W here or there in terms of definitely taking rounds and maybe taking a map or two and getting the win tonight. It's like, one thing I would want to mention is that a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to watch a Froyotech playoff match. It's going to be boring. But here tonight, I'm thinking GCI has a bit of a shot, and I'm excited to see what they're able to do.
Yeah, it's about as close as it's been in a long while when it comes to, comparing the number one and number two teams. You have a couple of seasons where, you kind of look at the rosters on paper and what happens in the regular season, and it doesn't seem like it's going to be anything that's going to be too exciting. You're like, oh, okay, I know which team is going to win. But this is definitely not one of those seasons. The close regular season matches definitely paint a picture on, the matchup of the teams. And although, like I said before, it would be contradictory of myself if I don't, reiterate what I said before about, individual levels of committing and trying to do the best you can during regular season versus playoffs. So it is totally possible that we might see something completely different when it comes to what we saw in the match, whether that be GCI finally getting the match win that they've been so wanting for the whole time, or Froyotech cleaning things up and making their victories a little bit more, I guess, clean in that regard. It could go either way, depending, but I think it's important to recognize, at least in comparison to seasons past, this is definitely one you're going to want to keep your eyes out for. So definitely tell everyone you know.
Yeah, tell your friends, come tune into the stream. There's a lot of TF2 going on tonight. We do have the side of Froyotech readying up. We're just going to be waiting on GCI, but there's a lot of great TF2 happening tonight, but a lot of it, of course, is here on the RGL stream. And if you're feeling generous, maybe, hit that follow button. Throw a subscription our way if you feel like it. Always looking for reinforcement for all the great content, especially on the side of Dolphin, who will definitely be shouting out later tonight. But Dolphin puts in so much great work and has been for seasons upon seasons now at this point. So very, very happy to be back here with Dolphin and with you, Jarrett. This is kind of like a dream come true in terms of casting.
Yeah, it's always fun to cast these matches, especially when it comes to playoffs, because got two matches instead of just one. It really feels like it's just one match, but every time you load up another map, it feels like another one. So playoffs is always a really fun time.
Yeah, absolutely. And looks like Giant isn't quite ready yet, so that is the delay at this point. He's just sitting in spectator right now. And as I say that, I don't know if it's Caster's curse or Caster's blessing, because he has joined up onto his team. So now we do have 12 in server and 12 on their proper teams. And it looks like nobody's lagging too bad. We've had some issues with that, especially Banny in his last match, but it looks like he's sitting pretty at 21 ping here tonight, so hopefully we don't have any issues of that sort. Speaking of which, hopefully my internet holds steady here tonight. Apologies if it does not, but of course I know I'll be leaving everybody in capable hands if I have any issues.
Yeah, I think Banny is. I don't think we have to worry about Banny's internet because I'm pretty sure he's playing from some like PC center or something. So
yeah, I think he's
not the same
traveling,
internet.
right?
Yeah, something like that.
Well, maybe that will be the key to victory here for Banny. We have readied up. This is upper brackets round 2. Froyotech, the #1 seed, taking on GCI, the #2 seed. My name's Godfather, joined by Jarrett on the mic, Dolphin behind the scenes as we get into this first mid. Jarrett, any last second predictions for this first map?
I'm thinking maybe like a 4-2 in favor of Froyo.
I'm thinking 4-2, 5-2 terms in favor of Froyotech, but we're on this first mid. Skis getting down to about half health early on. A lot of spam going towards the side of Froyotech as GCI is being pretty aggressive with their positioning, but no frags so far. Both teams are going to likely take this pretty slow, trying to feel out how the other side is going to want to take this. BrandSlam is dancing around point a good amount. Looks like Laz and Yite both on the flank here, getting some damage in onto Eric. Here comes the Froyo soldier coming behind, though, getting damage in onto 4-4.
Oh, the rockets!
Oh, the rockets are direct here tonight. Bandy finding the kill. 3 go down for GCI, and that will almost certainly be a 1 mid for the side of Froyotech as they try to clean up these kills. Laz is kind of trapped out on his concrete. He'll go down as well. It's just Ash and Yite. Actually, he was on the opposite concrete. Didn't even realize. Got turned around there myself, but a very dominant first mid for the side of Froyotech. And Jarrett, they are going to have this full Uber to forward hold with. What do you expect to see here?
Gonna have to try to do the best you can to break through it. You definitely have some sticky traps that have to be careful. You don't accidentally eat them. Laz gonna start initiating through and trying to make some space, as well as Ash. So the soldiers are once again through. Yeah, you have to be careful. Really low HP, getting way back to his medic. So they've broken through, but they still have a lot of ways to go. This Uber could still save Froyo if they feel like they need to use it. You have Laz behind. It could be a little bit of a pestersome thing they have to deal with. They are chasing him a little bit, but that is just given GCI enough room to actually approach point, bombing and going straight at Need. Laz leaving to land on skis and get the force. That is an Uber used from the side of the blue team, chasing down as many red players as they can. Ash is going to be the last one to fall as the scouts. Oh, Yite. He's trying to go in to see if he can get Manny, able to get that trade, and because Yite is going to respawn faster, that is a successful play from him. So, good sack wave, getting that force and getting 3 kills. This seems like it's not going to be too difficult for GCI to have a decent chance. Yeah, they're starting to push through already.
Yeah, the aggression here from the side of GCI, they are not holding anything back. They know that they have to play this point very cleanly. There is already a minute off the clock, for the side of Froyotech, so GCI has to catch up on the time here. They are at 2:30 and counting down as they do have point presence right now. Eric getting very low on this flank here against Ash, sitting in the side house, and there goes Eric. Gets taken out. Oh, and there goes Habib as well. No demo man for the blue team, and they're going to lose Banny as well. Laz will be the trade out down a soldier on the red team, but so far the side of GCI is doing great work right now. They'll find Blaze late into the fight as well. There's no chance really of finding skis, and I believe the Uber was actually used there by 4-4, so maybe not the greatest situation as they will not have the Uber for this next push. And it looks like Froyotech, knowing that they have this full Uber ad, they're going to be walking right across point almost for free. GCI backing off, and rightly so. They do not want to deal with this Froyo offense as they start coming forward. There's a bit of pressure onto point though, as players are defending it, but Alex goes down, the Uber is out. Here comes Ash behind skis, very low, and now the chase is onto Yite. Ash also gonna go down, 2 down for the red team. Spawners coming forward, they're all the way out right now with their medic in spawn, 70% and building fast. But they got a good amount of time off the clock. They just need to come in here, and they do have that soldier behind. It looks like he's going to get caught out, though, and there goes Laz. So they're going to be down 1. A very late death from Laz, gets caught out behind. Jarrett, what do you expect to see from GCI as they move in here onto the second point, or into this midpoint, excuse me?
You have to be really careful. 4-4's taking a little bit of damage, and Laz is not quite there to make space, so it's all on Ash to be able to buy the space they need to get through these doorways. They've made through a little bit, at least onto the point. They are going to use their Uber right off the bat. Alex shoving in, trying to go immediately onto skis, able to get some damage, but he's actually going to get it dropped. Jumped a little bit too deep, tried to go around the corner to get damage on the skis, but it's not going to be enough, so Demo Man down for the red team, trying to chase away on the Vandy, able to collect him, but 4-4 is going to die to a bomb from Blaze. Scrappy fight continuing on as Laz trying to go in and trying to play on the skis. Yeah, trying to chase away into spawn. He's continuing to go. One more rocket jump, trying to land on the... Oh, he gets the rocket. He gets the kill.
Oh my god, that is... that is so big for the side of GCI right now to not be down that Uber. They are going to lose both their soldiers very late into the fight. Eric is able to clean out both of them there as they start to respawn, but without that Uber, Froyotech has to play this a lot safer, and for 404, excuse me, not Froyotech, 404 and the rest of GCI are going to be holding on to this point. There are 40 seconds left on the clock for Froyotech in this first round of the first map in this best of 3 upper bracket round 2. But now Froyotech is going to be looking to take this pretty aggressive. They know the side of GCI doesn't quite yet have Uber, so they're going to try to take the point away if they can for free. But it looks like they're going to be backing off. Yite getting pretty weak. There goes Benny. Does it 8 health? Can he get healed up? No, he'll go down. Yite cleaning up that kill. Nice job there. There's still a little bit of pressure onto point. Now GCI is keeping that spam up as they approach full Uber. We'll have to see what they decide to do. Here comes the Uber. It's going to be out to Alex. We got a demo all the way up the skybox. Last is actually going to go down. Slem trades out on the other side, though. Can anyone find the medic? No. Skis is going to be staying alive, it looks like, which is Froyotech at 90%. They are charging right back in. They already have some time on the point as we are below 1 minute for both sides. They kept this point out. We're at 35 and counting down for Froyotech and 49 and steady right now for GCI. We lose a few players. Eric going to go down, but the pressure from GCI as they take out Ash, and now damage in. Benny's going to get taken out. Uber comes forward, and there goes 4-4 and Alex, both taken out. Now it's just a little bit of pressure on the point.
Blast behind!
Blast on beat on the medic. Can he pick up skis? And he does! Oh,
what
nice
a play.
air shot there. Beautiful play, as you mentioned, Laz. Able to find the medic, but 10 seconds on the clock. GCI has to make a play here, Cherry.
Yep, last couple seconds. There's no medics, so it's going to be pretty, okay for them to get some spam and have to be careful. Don't want to die. You definitely need to play this slow, but going to lose one. It's a bit unfortunate for them. PB all the way in. It seems like going to be a sap play.
Oh, they find 2! They find 4!
A little bit of too much of a scrappy fight, just sacrificing so many of your players, but it's going to work out, at least for now. Trying to get on this cap, only 2 seconds left. Ash and Alex just have to go ahead and try to block this.
You got a touch!
Yep, gotta have overtime. 1 scout versus 2 players, but he does have an overheal. Trying to wait.
Oh, no!
Ash runs out of ammo, is going to die. Alex is going to fall as well. And it seems like the scrappy fight that just collected so many players from GCI is putting them in such a bad position. They're 2 down, still trying to hopes and dreams are on the line, and we have a pause at overtime.
No!
All right, let's look at. Do you see these 2? I'm pretty sure both these 2 rockets here that haven't hit the floor yet are blue rockets. Yeah, those.
Yite dies, so we know that. Okay, so what I want to point out is the 404 death there, just in like the early stage of this fight, that will lead to the demise of GCI, or in terms of losing this first round. And what I mean by that is, if 404 had lived, not only would they have Uber ad right here, but also the heals would be a lot cleaner, and they likely would be picking up a lot of Froyotech frags. Not to say that 404 has thrown and like it's all on 404 here. Froyotech did a good job picking up that kill. The unpause is in. Yeah, it does go down. 404 now very weak and will get cleaned up as well. And now Laz is the only hope for the side of GCI. Gonna go down. Can anyone else get in? There's a little bit of time on the clock to work with. Ash gets taken out. Alex finds Benny, but goes down, and that will be round number 1. But as I was saying, that 4-4 find there by the side of Froyotech is, I think, what led to round number 1 going in favor of Froyotech on this first map. Jared, what do you think? And I'll let you take this the second mid, away as well.
Definitely very successful sack waves coming from Froyotech this time around, but we don't have that for this mid fight. It seems it's going to be normal spam, not necessarily running your head against a wall trying to find anything. It's going to be slow and steady to get some good damage onto someone you want to actually jump onto. Last time we saw Bandy go ahead and find an opening and make a play, but it seems like that opening does not exist this time around. Laz is in the doorway and actually jumping straight onto Bandy immediately. That's going to be the brawl, and Bandy's going to want to get picked up in that regard. Brand Slam is going to fall on the combo, so it's going to be 5v5, but down a scout compared to a soldier is definitely something to keep in mind. Ash getting jumped on by Blaze, have to be careful jumping away, but will get cleaned up by Slamnish. If he's falling down to a bomb from Blaze, sacrificing life in the process. 4v3 right now, 99%, have to be careful. Blaze is gonna fall, so it is a little bit of a scrappy fight still. That is slightly going in Red's favor. They do have some positioning, but the Ubers could come out if they so decide they need to block this point. It seems like they're gonna go ahead and let it go inside Red's favor and do not want to rush things and make sure they have the rest of their team ready to go before things go ahead and get underway and start running at the other team with your Uber.
Yeah, so we have an even Uber situation. The pause has now come through, so we don't know exactly what that was about. No players disconnecting. Looks like Slem was lagging, as I hear from Dolphin. Thank you for the information. The beat's so weak. He's 5 right now. The Uber comes in on the both sides, actually trying to escape right now is the blue team, though. It looks like it's a little bit of a better Uber for Red, but now 4-4 is getting juggled a bit. Will live so far as the red team tries to control this point. Habib does go down. Laz is the trade out, though, as Benny finds that kill. And now back in is Brandslam trying to find some frags. Eric does go down. Bandy 12 health right now. Looking for an arrow from Skis. Will get it. Nice play by Skis. Now Blaze getting up on that roof. He'll be backing off though. Very weak. Almost craters, but I think landed on a pack. As things will stabilize a bit, but still this scuffle on point. Medic's gotta play safe. You don't want to give up this Uber ad. So much damage! Four goes down. Bandy with a massive flank. Alex also gonna die. That will be for a slashery start in chat. That command won't work, my friend. And GCI, they did get a good amount of time off the clock. Can they get the kill on the Skis? 14
The last rocket is able to collect Skis, and that is a medic down for the side of Froyotech. Good sack wave coming from GCI, equalizing things. Gonna make them a little bit slow to actually approach the point, but I'm sure with a medic kill collect in their direction, they're fine just waiting a little bit longer before they set off to try to recap this point.
That sack wave at the very end. I'm getting notifications. Somebody got something in tier 2. Thanks, tier 2. Anyway, that sack, very successful, finds the kill. Here comes a bit of pressure, though, from the blue team. They're going to send their soldier in, trying to find the medic. They get 4-4 so weak. Can anybody pick up this frag? No, 4-4 will find the pack. And actually, 4 are going to go down for Froyotech. They do find Brandslam and Alex, but they will be respawning as they don't have the point quite yet. And it looks like we might see a bit of a delay before GCI now getting onto point. And look at the clock right now. We are about even. 1:55 on the clock for Froyotech, 1:45 and counting down for GCI as they hold the point right now. But 4-4 and the side of GCI, they have this full Uber to work with. Skis at about 60%. They're going to be building up, getting ready for this next fight, trying to find an early pick, an opening to go forward with once they finally get it on that Uber. Habib getting low, finding the arrow from Skis, but now it's just a waiting game as we expect. Froyotech maybe to look through a house, actually. They're going to send Eric forward. Here comes the Habib bomb as well. Sun will die. There's damage in. Oh, but Habib and Bandy both taken out. Can Eric find a kill onto Alex, who's very weak right now? The Uber is forced out. That is 5 actually for the Uber. Skis now will have this Uber to work with. 1:05. I'll call it 1 minute on the clock for GCI. Chariot, was that a worthwhile sack? 5 men for the Uber.
I mean, it definitely had the surprise factor. With them almost having Uber themselves, you would expect an Uber exchange at that point. Put yourself in a position to get ready to use it yourself, but it was the sack wave instead, so it was a little bit difficult for them to actually hold on to at the end of the day. They did a valiant effort, but now Froyotech has an Uber ad of their own, trying to bust their way through this house and able to get some decent positioning on the point. 4-4 is very passive and isn't going to be able to heal a lot of these people that are want to be very forward, and that's just going to mean a sack wave trying to come in, trying to get onto Skis. Laz in the door, but he caught up a little bit, trying to continue to chase his way on him. One rocket, puts him up in the air, and that
damage
is
to the Uber!
And actually so many kills as well.
That's beautiful!
That was
GCI went so nice there! Sorry to interrupt. I just want to mention GCI, they are in a situation where they needed that force, and they're able to get it, and now full Uber. Jared, what were you going to say? Sorry to interrupt.
You see them flying through the air, and you just expect, oh, okay, so they're doing a sack wave. They're going to lose like 4 players and get the force, right? No, it's Froyotech that loses the 4 players from the sack wave. So now 4-4 has full Uber. Branson has to be careful about his health. 20 HP, gonna make sure he's a-okay, but a lot of positioning on the point, able to collect the gentleman for the side of GCI, and 2 down as well, so gonna be a bit of a sticky situation. Jumped off on the house, both scouts dueling inside, and it seems like it's gonna be almost everyone dead except for 4-4. Oh, but no fragging classes left.
Skis almost cratered, got down to 7 on impact, but was right next to that pack, and obviously there was no damage as so many from GCI went down, but if Skis had died there, that would almost certainly spell the round in favor of GCI as they move their way back on the point, have this Uber, they're gonna pop it in, trying to get onto Skis, will escape alone right now at 90% building fast. They will look now to cap this point. They have 14 seconds on it, actually losing Ash, and now Alex as well. Slem finds 2, that's big, and now Habib is behind, trying to juggle 4-4, who's completely isolated in the shack and now getting chased down, and that will be a medic found late into the fight. Nobody going down for Froyotech. Yike, gonna die after that fight happens. That is catastrophic for the side of GCI. There are 30 seconds left on the clock, and now they are at a full disad in terms of Uber. 14 seconds on the clock for them, so if they cap it out somehow, it will be good. Habib very low right now. but
Oh,
please.
four,
Oh, wait, there goes.
Vanny finds the hole in the defense, able to get behind and collect the medic frag, so immediately 3 down for the side of GCI. It is just Ash left alive. So far, Vanny's been pretty successful at finding these openings when GCI is trying to attempt to approach the point. No matter what the doorway is, he's finding a way to slip through and collect either the force or the frag, and that's going to probably net Froyotech another round as they're not even anywhere near the point. Yikes on it. A little bit of overtime, trying to collect some kills at the last second, but it's going to be a bit of a tall order. 2 left alive. Alex respawners is not quite there. Ransom collects 2, but has to continue to do what is probably impossible. That is going to be a round for Froyotech. Big plays at the end there.
Yeah, definitely lots of big plays as we are seeing a 2-0 lead right now for Froyotech in map number 1 of this series. I would like to see maybe a bit of an adjustment for the side of GCI. Play a little bit cleaner, maybe try to coordinate a wee bit better as we do finish off that first half 2-0. I was thinking in my head, because I'm so used to 5 CP at this point, wait, why are we not going on to round number 3? But no, we'll pull up logs here. Jarrett, what are you seeing as we have finished off this first half of map number 1?
Well, let's see. Looking at the logs, you always got to look at the damage, and right now we see Banny topping the charts as Soldier, nonetheless, with almost 400 DPM. It's quite the feat to get 400 DPM as Soldier, so he's definitely having a monstrous performance, and you can see it because he's making so many plays. So hats off to him. Other side of the coin, GlobalClan Ice, RGLgg is also putting out a fair amount of damage himself, but it's not anything too crazy when you compare it to what it's like pretty much what everyone else is doing. Everyone's kind of floating around the 300 DPM range, give or take, like maybe 20 or so. So. But it's definitely putting out damage for his team. It's going to be definitely needed. It's a down man's job. Definitely looking at Slumish's kill count as a high amount, 19, making sure that kills are secured for your team. Very important for Koth as well as 5 CP, but for Koth, you definitely want to make sure that you're getting kills without dying yourself to make sure that you don't accidentally have things be not in your team's favor when it comes to respawners and whatnot. So Katie, even more important.
Look at these medic deaths, though. If you're gonna be able to look at those here, 404 with 9 to Skeez's 3, and the damage in onto 404, stopping those pushes before they can even happen and whatnot. Froyotech doing a great job, just absolutely canceling any chance for GCI to make a play here. Again, there was 3 times the med deaths from 404 here, and not all of them, of course, are 404's fault. It's just great play from Froyotech so far tonight, proving why they deserve that number 1 seed and defending their title here tonight.
Yep, definitely going to have to make some adjustments in the half. It's not like the halves have been a roll or anything, but obviously you definitely want to make sure you put out a big of a difference in terms of performance as possible if you want to start putting some rounds on the board as GCI. We saw some promising adjustments for them in the way that they were trying to combat sacks in some moments, but other times what Froyotech was doing was pretty successful, whether it was finding a play onto 4-4 or making sure that an ambitious chase was punished very heavily. We saw that a couple times where GCI tried to go super deep for Skeez, and it found success sometimes. Other times it led to almost their entire team wiping because they just went so deep that their post-Uber positioning was not in a very good spot for them, and they just got collapsed on by the entirety of Froyotech. So some adjustments to make in regards to what the other team is doing, but definitely some in what you are doing yourselves. What's going to change in terms of their plans? You're going to have to wait and see, but luckily not too long as we are going live already in the second half. Both teams already know what they want to change, so it's up to us to see what they are applying for the next mid-fight. What's going to be slow-paced? Long? We're going to go for some flank plays? I don't know, but Godfather's here to tell us what happens along the way.
Alright, getting in onto mid number 3. Skeez, I think, serves some damage up onto the high ground. Now getting very low, actually, down to 40 health, but I don't think anyone is able to commit. Skeez will back off, pick up the pack, but as a result, we got a bit of like an artificial ad here in favor of GCI, about 10% to work with if they so choose. If they can find an early kill onto med, that would be big, but teams are playing this very carefully, very safely. Now a bit of a flank play. Benny will go down, yet finding that kill with the help of Laz. Yet very weak for themselves. Eric is very weak on the other side. Laz will go down now. Nobody has capped this point out. Looks like Froyotech, though, is going to be a bit of show a bit of aggression. On the point, they're going to actually pop out the Zuber. I believe Skis got forced. Now 4-4 milking it as best they can. Finally popping. Blaze actually dropped during that Uber as he went for a play, unable to find anything, and now the chase is on, trying to find Slem, and they will. So 1 for the exchange, 2 actually for the exchange. Now that I think about it, as Blaze did go down. Benny is in on the flank, trying to find Laz right now. It's very weak for both players. Laz will go down, but Benny trades out, and Brand Slam actually dying as well. But now they find Habib, which is a big pick. Now, again, the point has gone in favor of Froyotech, but GCI is now trying to come right back in. Blaze gonna go down as well. 3 down for Froyotech, excuse me. The tongue twister of deciding to say 404 or Froyotech is really messing with me tonight. But Jared, what have you seen so far, and take us through this next fight as well?
Well, gonna see Froyotech do the best they can to try to take back this point, although Ubers are gonna come into play pretty soon. Only 10% left to go for the side of Skis. Maybe we'll actually probably won't use it to catch 404 before he gets his own. Banny off in the flank, trying to air shot on the last. Wanna hit the mark, but not to do a lot of damage. Gonna get chased down by Yite, and is gonna clean up that frag. So 1 player advantage. Ubers has not been quite used yet. A lot of cap time going the way of Froyotech, but hasn't converted quite yet. Alex standing on the point, as well as Ransom ready to reuse the Uber if needed, but it's gonna be Yite going in for a play immediately on the Skis. Gets the force with the early Uber, and he's actually working his way out. Ash is gonna die in the sidelines, but Yite looping all the way around, able to collect the kill onto Blaze, and Eric is behind a little bit of a nuisance to deal with. Laz is gonna fall, trying to collapse, and this is gonna be a point conversion, but 4-4 left alone. Everyone left. No! 4-4 trying to collect the scout that was behind, so he's just gonna die. A little bit of miscommunication there.
Damage on Habib.
Oh, Habib's gonna die.
Air pipes from Alex. Am I lagging out here?
No, you're good, you're good.
Then I am getting some stutters in game. Hopefully my internet holds fast here tonight. So far so good, though. That was such a unfortunate situation for the side of GCI. They are going to be storming right across point, though, trying to cap this out. Time 6 on cap, and it's almost instantaneous. We have 2 minutes on the clock for both sides. Blaze is going to get taken out,
melted.
but there goes Brand Slam getting traded on the other side. Benny finding that kill, but he goes down as well. Yite picking him off. 1 down for each team. Down a soldier is Froyotech. Now here comes a soldier from the side of GCI, but Laz will get taken out, but not before Ash is able to find Habib, and Slem goes down as well. 2 down for Froyotech. Frags going each way, but no one convincingly getting the lead here. The cap went to GCI, but now Froyotech edging it out, waiting for spawners. Now actually going to lose Eric. Now Benny on the flank. Can he go down? And he will. There's a nice play. Blaze caps it out, but goes down for it. 3 down for Froyotech, and GCI will cap it out almost immediately after, looking a lot cleaner in this, what is it, 3rd round now. Even Ubers, though, so we have to be careful to see what Froyotech will pull out. Jarrett, what are you expecting to see from Froyotech as we have this forward hold, coming in from GCI?
Probably an Uber exchange immediately popped off. Ash is going to fall, as well as Ransom, to 2 picks for the side of Froyotech to work with for this post-Uber. GCI going to back up all the way to the point. Have to be careful. Not a lot of positioning to work with. Have to make sure that you stay alive as long as possible. Blaze is behind, ready to pounce in case things get a little bit too sticky, but seems like they're going to notice that so many people are dead on their team. They're just going to leave last to cause a distraction and go ahead and back up inside their own lobby area. Oh, have to be careful. Alex very aggressive. Might accidentally get picked, but it's going to be Blaze that gets baited. Yite trading for that kill, and that's going to be good for the longevity of their fight because Yite respawns much quicker. Weak scout, though. Brand Sam has to heal before they push off the demo pick they got so early on, and a nice rotation. Going to make a clean entryway for them to be able to work their way towards the point. Eric inside the house, Laz making sure that he has some sort of presence there. They're actually taking the house, and they get some good presence on the point. They're actually going to get surprised by Bandy hiding inside their own house, and with Brand Sam falling as well, it's going to be a bit of a bad situation for them as they're down 3.
Benny on a 4K right now, but finding 3 in that fight as he was hitting all the directs. His ping tonight is giving him an added boost of energy. Looks like GCI is going to be rolling out to the right here. Laz going forward, trying to find anything, but he's stuck in the corner. Will go down on the sack play. Now, so much damage in on to the side of Froyotech. Will find Eric, but now Blaze and Benny both get taken out. 3 down for Froyotech as the pressure is in from GCI. They will lose Yite, but now can they find anything else? The Uber is forced out on the side of Froyotech. 4-4 has to cut this pretty well. Now Alex has to try to escape, but he will find the kill with the help of Brand Slam, actually, who cleans that one up. We're at under 1 minute for both teams. Again, Froyotech leading 2-0 in this first map. We'll have to see what they decide to do to try to force out this Uber from GCI. 4-4 is holding on to their 100% charge. Jarrett, what are you expecting to see from Froyotech as they push forward here?
Probably another side wave, double soldiers onto Ash, sorry, getting that kill inside the house. Laz is actually going to flank on Habib, so that's going to be a demo collectors as well as Slim. Uber popped up, they see an opening, and Alex is able to immediately get skis straight in. Their aggressive Blaze is going to work out this time. There's only 2 players left. Blaze trying to jump out, and Eric, he's flanking, actually going in, trying to find his way onto the demo, isn't able to collect that frag. Alex able to make sure he's cleaned up, and that is a very nice play from GCI, immediately getting the 2 picks, sees the Uber situation where they could just bomb in with their demo, immediately kill skis. Give him the 1-2 with a sticky pipe combo, immediately dead.
Look at the clock.
A lot of success there. 13 seconds left on the clock. Froyotech have to find an open door, and it seems like the garage area is going to be the way they're working through. Blade able to find his way through. A little bit of spam on the opening. It's going to be a bit slow, though. Ubers are not going to be in play right now, so it's going to be a dry fade onto the point. Bandy falling right off the bat. 1 player advantage. Brandstam is going to clean up. Alex on the point. Just straight up, putting damage on the other team. Laz bombing in to try to leave some pressure, and Blaze very weak as well, has to get an arrow, so Habib dead is going to be difficult for them. Uber finally coming to play. It's lasted long enough trying to find the way to kill this scout. Slim is involved. He's going to follow a flank from Ash, and actually getting Blaze as well. It's just Banny, Eric, and Habib are left to left in. They're able to get the medic and the scout, but not quite enough. And GCI put their first round on the board.
Dude, that was the most chaotic fight we've seen tonight, but GCI was able to find the crucial picks at the crucial times, and after going down 2-0 in the first half, they take this 3rd round now. It's a 2-1 game on to mid number 4. You see early aggression from the side of Slemnish. Have Ash in on the flank house, and Silver from the side of Froyotech. Here comes the initiation. Blaze very weak, will get taken out by Brandstam, but Froyotech is pushing forward. They lose Eric as well. Can they find the kill onto Alex, who's very low right now? No, will not, and now Froyotech unable to find that double kill, and Habib, gets so low, but finds the arrow from the medic. Brandstam pretty weak themselves right now. Banny is now the only red health player on the board, but the flank play comes in, and Laz finds the kill onto Banny. 2 down for Froyotech. No frags going in favor of Froyo right now. A lot of weak players on GCI, though, as Blaze finally goes down, and this will be a cleanly won mid for the side of GCI. They have this cap and will be looking to hold it out. Even Uber situation. Skis did not die. Chariot, take us through this next fight.
Yep, Laz isn't quite there, so the Biz is a bit of an opening for Froyotech to work with, but there is Ubers in play, immediately popping off across the point, trying to work the way on Alex. Is going to take a flash, but isn't going to die. Banny is behind, actually pestering Guy a little bit, so that's going to draw him back. So post Ubers are coming into play now. Soldier bombing in, Blaze immediately going on a 4-4, going to get him a little bit. He has to back up. Bandy's going to fall for the back line, so no soldiers down, or alive for the side of Froyotech. A lot of weak players for GCI, though. Have to be very careful because 4-4 surf so far back. He's not able to heal his players only until now, so no initiation for the side of Froyo. Don't have soldiers to be able to jump on these players, so they're a-okay to just stand, take some arrows, get healthy, and Laz on the move. He's jumping in, sees the opening, trying to get away into skis. A lot of rockets able to collect that frag, and there's only 3 players left alive inside of Froyo. They have to clean up. Laz is going to fall, but he's going to be a-okay with that play as the rest of them scatter and unsure what to do in the current moment. Have to wait for the respawners before they're able to do anything, but once again, Laz opening for Froyotech to work with, but this time around, a lot more time off the clock.
Taking all that time off the clock, it's going to be about a 20% advantage in terms of clock. But here comes the soldier play. Gets Alex and Branson both down, and 4 go down from GCI. Bandy with such a big play, help from Blazer as well, trying to chase down Laz, but will escape, get the arrow in spawn, and the ad will be in favor of GCI. Jarrett, your words per minute needs to be counted because, my God, casting is insane here tonight as GCI starts to walk their way back in. Eric maybe a bit isolated, but will be able to escape. Ash going to rotate around to the other side. Now Blaze looking to go meet him in the side house. No, Blaze is going to back off actually as Froyotech gives up this point for free at this Uber disad. GCI has a full charge right now as Skis is about 90% building fast as Froyotech always does. We'll have to wait and see what this next push is, but the point presence from GCI so far, they have under 2 minutes on the clock. Here comes the Uber from Froyotech. It's onto Slum primarily, and the Uber has popped out on the other side of GCI, trying to find anything as Froyotech, but basically a terrible Ubers. They're unable to find anything and don't secure the point either. Now we'll have to see this post-fight. Benny and Ash both weak. Now Branson is actually going to die. Slam trades out on the other side. Benny able to find an arrow. There goes Blaze, taken out by Alex, so who will find one there. Eric is so weak. Looks like he's going to go for a pack. I don't even know what healed him up there, but now he is ready to go back to the fight, trying to chase down Alex. He'll find the kill onto him with the cap. Looks like it's going to start going back to, oh no, as Ash goes down, as does Alex. GCI unable to get the cap back in. 1:17 on the clock for them, but Froyotech 1:45 and counting down. Now the forward hold from Froyotech is proving to be a lot for GCI to handle. They'll have to rotate around to the other side. Eric getting very weak and gets caught out. Jarrett, what do you expect to see here as they start to steamroll their way forward?
Well, they have an opening in a scout pick to be able to abuse it. It seems like Laz working his way into the house already, as well as Yite, so they got some extra positioning there, as well as Ash holding down their own. So a lot of positioning, but the Uber change is going to come out running at the other team. Brandslime is going to get dropped, so unfortunate for them, going to be down a player, but the soldiers for GCI have to make sure they're A-okay and healthy. But he's going to chase down by Yite, able to collect that frag, so seems like Bandy's going to go ahead and go for the flank once again. Actually, not actually committing, just a little bit of a scare tactic. Habib is going to fall from stickies from Alex, though, and Laz trying to create some chaos, getting some good damage onto the scouts, continuing to make sure they back all the way up. So Banny's play is all for naught, unable to find any support from his teammates, not able to get another flank onto 4-4. So GCI able to retake this point and get, you know, prepped and ready for the next dry fight coming in from Froyotech.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how this fight will end up, as both meds at about 55 gonna do their best to build an outbuild, for that matter, the other team, as pressure is in from Froyotech, but the side of GCI not want to give it a ground. Habib getting pretty weak, gonna find an arrow from his med, but Eric, mispronounced the name there, is gonna actually die early. That will definitely slow down Froyotech, especially on the flank, as they will not be able to work their way forward. And Blaze dies as well. Ash finding a nice kill, 2 down. Habib gets weak, the Uber is popped out, and they're gonna lose another. Bandy goes down to Laz. The Uber now coming in from GCI as they look to clean up the rest of the kills. Skis
There's Lucy out with
pretty
Skis.
insane. Oh my god! Skis has no chance to live. 2 alive on the side of Froyotech. Skis dying there. Now and the point in favor of the side of GCI, although we're under 30 seconds for the side of Froyotech. It is a 2-1 game in their favor. GCI has to hold on to this point for a good amount of time. Jarrett, what are you seeing in this forward hold, and what will happen next?
Well, Blaze is working his way through a little bit. It seems like they don't want to necessarily go that route. Banny trying to work his way through on the other side of the map, but 2 down off the bat. The flank has worked their way through. Blaze finding his way in, but not enough damage to clean up 4-4. Going to surf his way back, and actually no one on G side is actually fallen. It seems like their split attempt at going different doors is not able to get them anything, and Habib dying late is going to be not that great as well. Can't immediately start pushing through these doors without a disadvantage in form of not having a demo. Slumdish immediately falling in, as well as Banny. They're able to get their flank through a little bit. Eric's on top of the point, and Blaze is working his way through the doorways as well. Gonna lose like Yai, but it's not gonna be enough. They
so
have
weak.
Positioning, and Skis is weak. Habib bombing in, trying to find anything, not able to quite hit the mark.
This is incredible. All right, GCI is playing out of their mind right now. It's not the cleanest team of 2 we've ever seen, but we are a 2-2 game, and now, if I'm not mistaken, this should be half number 3. Is it Golden Cap, or are we still first to 4? I'm sorry, we never see this happen. What's the situation here, Jarrett?
You just play another half. It's 2-2. You just keep going.
Okay. Well, we'll open up logs. Sorry for the confusion there. We are not in Golden Cap yet. It is 2-2, which is a terrific score to see. I love the playoff matchup. Logs coming up on screen now. I'll be looking at those. But Jarrett, what are you seeing, excuse me, in these logs?
Well, the 400 DPM club has turned into the 500 DPM club. Alex pulling out insane numbers all around the board. Got sick damage and a sick KD to work with, so definitely fixing their play enough to enable the demo man to be able to find a whole lot of success is going to be pretty good for them. And speaking of the KD department, things are not looking so great for the side of Froyotech. Have a couple players going in the negative, which is not the case for GlobalClan Ice. Obviously, spare the medics, but you never really count that. But I think that paints a picture of what we've been seeing. I think GCI used the half well enough to make the necessary adjustments to find the success to take these rounds. The flanks that Banny has been doing, like it's been the same, like 1 or 2 doors most of the time, has been stuffed a lot more in that half. The times that they've done sack waves, I think GCI is used to it now, and they've been adjusting and making sure that everyone knows that 4-4 is backing up far away from everything that's going on. So don't put yourself in a position where you're gonna need heals, because you're not gonna be able to get them. And I think GCI has made enough adjustments with the Ubers of their own where they've settled with, because of how fast the cap goes. If you have an ad, you don't have to just bolt immediately trying to get Skis all the way across the map. You can just, they're going to play passive, just get on the point, get the cap time, and run the clock. They've started playing slightly differently and the adjustments are definitely playing a little bit in their favor. And it's been rough for Froyo to actually initiate fights in these dry fights in particular and find success. So far during the mid fights we've seen, and then some of the dry fights where no Ubers are in play, I see Froyotech try to initiate onto something that has worked in the past, and they've gotten good damage onto GCI, but the kill collection is not there, and it's just straight up GCI is more prepared for it at this point. So another half, another time to adjust. This time it's going to be Froyotech adjusting. We're going to see how well they're able to fix and tweak things to have things start working in their favor once again against GCI.
You know, one thing you mentioned deaths, and I want to point out 4-4 died 2 times that half. And also, Alex, only 4 deaths. Skis had 5. Alex has fewer deaths than the Froyo medic right now. That is impressive to say the least. And Alex putting out 486, as you mentioned, with 15 frags, 3 assists, 4 deaths. Alex has turned up the heat tonight here for the side of GCI, and definitely does not want to give up this first map. It's just been an absolute pleasure to watch. Very interested to see what the side of Froyotech is looking to adjust here. A terrific team, as we all know, one that will take this time. They'll figure out a plan and come back swinging. They're not going to just be like, oh, well, I guess the momentum's in favor of GCI. We better give up now and go next map. But no, they're going to come back swinging. Jarrett, you mentioned a little bit earlier when you were talking, but is there any specific thing that you would like to see Froyotech adjust? Maybe a specific player does a certain action that you'd like to see?
It's probably going to be on their initiators for the most part. They're either going to adjust their timing on when they actually go in, or their targets on who they actually are trying to kill. Because so far, the targets they've been trying to go for previously are not, they're not finding them. They're getting damage, but not kills. But it's not going to be too much longer until we see what happens. We are live going into the next mid. Going to be interesting to see how things play out and who is able to get the clock running in their favor for this third half. Go ahead and take it away, Godfather.
Will do. We'll have this 2-2 half coming forward. Ash getting pretty weak on the side of GCI, down to 94 health. Alex as well, very weak. The damage seems to be in favor of Froyotech so far, but Grand Slam is on that point right now, trying to do a slam. Both, again, we see a pretty slow mid, but yikes, to 1 health on Scout. Finds an arrow, I believe, down. Now staying alive. Benny is the weak one on the side. Froyotech down to 12 health. Eric actually going to be the first to die, yet finding that kill. He'll go down for it, though, as Slam picks up the frag, and the point goes to the side of GCI on this mid, but so far no other frags. Both meds at 100% Uber. We'll have to see who decides to pop first, since at this point we might just see a quick Uber exchange. We'll have to wait and see, though. The point, went back in favor of Froyotech. A little bit of pressure from GCI. Now here goes a bomb. The Uber is exchanged onto the red medic. Popping back quickly is 4-4, gets pretty weak. The Uber now fading. We'll have to see what happens in this post fight. It looks like the health is very, very strongly in favor of the side of Froyotech. So can they clean up these kills? We've got a little bit of presence in the flank house, but the point looking like it's going to go back to GCI. Not too many frags here on this mid, except for Ash and Laz now both going down. Froyotech looks like at the very end will finally take this mid fight. And we have 2 minutes, 10 seconds on the clock for them, 2:42 for GCI. How should GCI begin to work their way through here, Jarrett?
Definitely have to clear these traps, but it is dry for now, so you can't necessarily just bust through with an Uber, so gotta take things slow and steady to make sure you don't take too much damage on entry to this open area. The soldiers of GCI done a good enough job to, push Froyotech back to their own side of the point, so now we see a scuffle across the point and once again begin to go ahead and go underway. Alex on top of the point trying to put a lot of damage out, but both teams getting Uber now. It seems like Slim just wants to take this, going across the point, immediately gonna pop it in straight into the other team and finally gets pulled. Counter Uber comes in from GCI, so gotta make sure all your players are A-okay and healthy. Seems the counter initiation from GCI swing is gonna come in right off the bat, creating a little bit of distraction. Have to be careful with their health, though. Habib's getting very weak, pushed back a little bit, but no kill. It's gonna be GCI's flank and demo that is actually gonna be falling. So unsuccessful post Uber coming from them. No dome and spells disaster for them trying to continue this fight, and they're pretty passive. It doesn't look like they want to play this too fast and want to wait for Alex to get back before they actually commit. They're still showing some sort of presence, though, and that presence is going to get Grand Slam killed, fighting off a little bit more than you chew. Habib able to collect that frag. So once again, do not have your full lineup here, and it seems like they're trying to immediately go into Laz. They know they're down 1, and it's enough for them to collect the kill. Yak trying to go into Ban and able to find, finally able to get him, but Habib a little bit forward, has to be careful. Surfing back 20 HP, able to be A-okay, at least for now. It's a lot of presence for GCI to be able to get on the point here. Have to find a way to get onto Blaze. He's very low inside the house, barely able to escape, and that's enough of a distraction, actually, to allow Froyotech to get in cleanly through these doors and get back onto the point. But we've been fighting for long enough now that the Ubers are once again probably going to get popped pretty soon, Godfather.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how the exchange comes through. It looks like Froyotech going to go very aggressive. Bandit goes for a bomb, unable to find any kills, though. Bit of a waste there, but they do get the exchange as GCI does pop back. Now the post-fight is all that matters. Bandit goes down early. Yikes. He's the trade-up, though. Blaze able to flick that kill. Here goes the bomb from Skis. Oh, the big kill. Can 4-4 stay alive, though? GCI up in players right now. They have the 1 minute advantage, but Alex goes down. They have to escape here, but Slem is behind. Please tell me I'm not lagging, and this is just a pause.
That's a pause.
It's just a pause. Look at Slem. Look at Slem right now. He has this health pack to work with. Even if BrandSlam comes back and hits 2 nice clean shots, I'm expecting 404 to die very soon after this unpause comes through. And also, very important, look at the clock. We are in, obviously it keeps running because of the pause, so I'm not entirely sure what time we're on, but I'd say under 30 seconds right now for Froyotech, which is dire straits now for GCI. They don't want to go down 3-2.
Yep, definitely want to make sure that, you know, if you're GCI, after this fight's over, you get the cap going and having things go your direction. Because if the clock continues to go Froyotech's direction, it's going to be difficult for you to, you know, find your footing in this game, especially because, like, you look at the time difference. Like you said, it's like sub 3-ish or something for Froyo, but for GlobalClan Ice, they still have over 2 minutes left to go. So you, not only do you have to take this point back with this fight, hopefully, for them, but you have to try to have successful holds over and over again if you want to convert the round in your favor. You know, Slem is behind. It's going to be a little bit of a sticky situation for 4-4 to deal with. It is possible that he feels like that maybe he can run forward if he thinks it's safe, which it could be, but it's still rough. Like, it's a Slemish fight to lose.
Think about where Yite is right now. If somehow 404 is able to get this out, although I will say that Slem has 404 in their sights right now, and if Eric works their way forward as well, even if Slem manages to beef all his shots, I don't know how many shots he has, in his clip. Even if Slem manages to beef all his shots, we still have the threat, of Eric to come forward. So maybe 404 runs forward, gets towards Laz between, you know, Laz and BrandSlam with the overheal could win the 1v1, and then Yite comes forward, but this is looking very bad for 404. Still in this pause, but now, spoke too soon, now the unpause comes through, and Slem and Eric both die, that Blaze
the run forward strat.
Dude, the whole W! It's an invite strat. You heard it here first, I swear, that is just too powerful. 404 will live. And everybody who thought that he would die, including myself, proven wrong here. And now here comes the next fight, Jared.
Yep, trying to break right through the forward hold, able to get a couple of kills. HUD's broken, but it seems like the Uber will get popped off. Not chasing, Ski's gonna go ahead and go for the kills in the backline. You have 3 of them to deal with, 2 on the point, but went all the way behind Last, trying to hit some upper directs onto Slem, but able to collect that frag. Is his scout friend BrandSlam. Last is gonna die though, but not without cleaning up by BrandSlam as well. So BrandSlam making sure that the players that are killing his teammates are dying, but that is gonna be an Uber used without Skis dying himself. So while there is no Uber for the side of 404, Skis does have an ad to work with. It's not gonna come into play quite yet. You are gonna have a little bit of ways away to go before an Uber ad from Froyotech is used, but it doesn't seem like they want to contest too much, and the cap will go their direction. Ash trying to be a little bit of a nuisance, and Yite and Laz are trying to put some pressure as well, but Blaze actually going in, able to cut the frag onto Ash, and BrandSlam dying across the point, so that's going to prompt Froyotech to go ahead and barrel straight through, and 404 is going to die a little bit more than they can handle. Alex is going for the flank, able to get the force. With the clock it being what it is, this is not a good situation for GCI to be in.
Yeah, that will actually be the round, as it was just 18 seconds on the clock for the side of Froyotech. They'll go up 3-2 after finding that 404 kill, and very close so far. I will say GCI is putting up a valiant fight. We'll go into mid number 6 here. I'll let you take it away, but I'm very excited to see if GCI is able to take anything away from what they've seen and work their way in onto this next mid. Go ahead here.
Yep, health seems pretty normal for now. Seems like it's going to be a flank play going into the house is going to be what Froyotech's going to try to do, trying to find a way in the Ash, but not actually going to find a whole lot of success. It's going to be Froyotech players that are dropping very low, not necessarily dying of, but Catcher's Curse. Air is going to fall, Blaze is going to jump forward and actually collect the frag onto Ash, so have to be careful. 4-4 trying to escape is going to find Banny, who was behind from a bomb in, not cleaned up, so it seems like Froyotech's ability to go in and initiate is going to find a whole lot of success. Skis is going to fall in the back line, had to sacrifice your medic to be able to, put that much pressure forward to be able to secure the mid, but secure the mid they did, and they will start off strong with decent time on the clock in this drive push scenario.
Yeah, we have a situation now with 4-4 about a 20% ad actually to work with. Not too many frags here early on. Benny looking to get forward with the help of Sonic and Blaze, but not able to find too much. Looking at the clock, it's 2:32 for Froyotech as they try to recap. Be getting pretty low. Finds the arrow from Skis, doing a great job there. And now 4-4 is at 80%, approaching this Uber charge. And if they're able to barrel through, that will spell doom for the side of Froyotech. But Ash actually taken out early. Habib finding a nice back onto them, and that will be the cap now coming in for Froyotech. Habib very weak right now. Here comes Laz, getting it.
So much damage.
Oh, he gets 3 actually. Yike will go down, and there goes Blaze. 4 go down. And they chase down this medic. It's Branson looking for the chase. Oh, Banny dies as well. It's 5 down for Froyotech, and the Uber ad goes the other way for 100%. Skis will have for this next fight absolutely mental here as GCI picking up all those frags. Jared, take us through this, and I'll have to tune out for just a second.
Blaze working his way through for his team, getting some space, a lot of damage actually onto the other team, so it's going to make sure they're able to walk across the point, immediately popping the Uber, trying to get on the other team. Counter Uber will come out, and we actually have a soldier behind causing the chaos, but with the Uber still going on, Banny is going to fall, so 1 player advantage for the side of GCI to work for this post. Uber trying to work their way in onto Eric, who's inside out, surfing all the way out, able to get away onto Alex, but not finding the damage he needs. It's going to be a B that's bombing in, and it seems like the collapse from Froyo is going to be enough. The distraction and damage is what they need to be able to get the medic frag, and a whole lot more than that as well. So Skis backing all the way to spawn. Gonna be 1 left alive in terms of Banny, staying. Oh, nice rocket onto the scout, living at least for now, causing a nice distraction. And even though he doesn't even die. Both scouts died, trying to go so far to kill him, and that's gonna be an even easier retake for the side of Froyotech. GC have to wait for their scout players to respawn before they begin the reapproach. They do have a bit of an even Uber scenario to work with, so it's not gonna be too difficult. They have an honest chance at trying to burst way through, and bursting their way through they are. The forward hold has been broken, trying to find a way onto Slemish inside the house. Branson getting some deep damage on him, not able to collect any frags, working your way onto the soldiers. Laz bombing in really deep onto the demo, not able to get too much damage enough to have him die, but it's gonna be Laz that's falling in turn. Gonna be a soldier bomb coming from Froyotech. Banny falling, finding his way onto 4-4, a little bit of damage, but not enough to collect the frag, and it seems like a 5v5 scenario is what the call is going to be for now. We have GCI getting on the point, able to get that in their direction, so it's gonna be in their favor before the Ubers get popped off. And speaking of the Ubers, it is like a 15% app. They barrel across the point right now. It could be something they could use, but I think that 4-4 has recognized that he can't play that close because of the situation. So Uber getting popped off. Ash is gonna fall on the back line, so a little bit of a sticky situation for them to deal with. 1 player down for this post Uber, and it seems like there's a lot of house control. Froyotech just is in the other team's area, and 4-4 just straight up getting melted in the middle of the post. The post Uber positioning for Froyotech was so good. Brand Slam and Ash are the only ones left in, and actually Ash isn't even in. I think he was rolling out from dying in the middle of the fight, so it seems like the Uber exchange was so much in Froyotech's favor that now they're able to hold on to the point and get another forward hold going.
You'll have to see what happens in this Froyotech forward hold. They love to put this on, but GCI looks like they're already ready to rotate around, but Ash will be an early pick. Habib with the stickies.
Oh, the Blaze flank.
Finds that kill. Now the flank coming in. Oh, Habib and Blaze actually both gonna die, but they find 4-4 and Brand Slam as well. Bandy will die for it, but there goes Yite as well. 3 down from both sides, but Skis with that 80% and the heals in favor. Actually losing Eric as well late. Not the best for Froyotech, except for that medic staying alive, and we're at 30 seconds for Froyotech, up 3-2 in this round. In this map. First map of the best of 3. GCI really needs to put on a show here, find that force on the Skis early, and we'll have to see what they decide to do, but it looks like Froyotech is going to be working their way forward for free almost. They're going to use this Uber and trying to pick up some frags if they can. 4-4 is all the way out. Alex and Branson both going to die, but 4-4 is taken out, and Laz now looking like he might be a death as well. There he goes, Slam picking up that kill. Can they find Yite as well? looks like they might be able to. No, Yite finds two, actually. Slem and Blaze both going to go down. Finally, Yite dies. Yite, a bit of a hero play there, but it won't like to be enough, and there goes the death.
The perfect play!
Wait!
He was hiding behind the entire time, and he just went inside the house. They were backing up, able to collect that frag, so there's not going to be a medic alive for this last scrappy fight, and this could be what GCI needs to be able to take the point. They've collected two with no heals. A third one's going to be gone, and it's just Blaze and Slem trying to sacrifice their lives to go ahead and get any kills so they can use it for the second push, but seems like they're not able to hit the mark, and that play from Ash definitely saved them, at least for now. Overtime for Froyotech. Under 60 seconds for GCI, and a decent Uber ad to work with if the fight goes on long enough. So I'm interested to see how Froyotech is going to approach this. They have to play this really, really fast, not only because of the clock, but because of the Uber disadvantage in their favor. Skis had a lot of damage on him, have to be careful, but immediately flank coming in from the slow is able to collect the scout, and they're working their way onto 4-4. He's not able to heal anyone. They're just dropping life. Is able to collect Skis, but 4-4 still living.
4-4's alone!
Despite him living for so long.
4-4's alone!
He had the perfect escape, but it's the classic, hey, I'm surfing away from the people that are on me, so you can't heal the people fighting. That plagued them previously, and it plagued them in that fight, and it lost in the round.
That is so sad. That is 4-4 isolated on point as players go down. GCI had a shot there. By all means, we'll open up logs as Froyotech will take this first map, which of course is a big ol'. They'll take that 4-2. We'll be moving on to Villa in a moment. We'll pull up logs and then maybe get a chance to see combined logs as well if we have time. Jarrett, what are you seeing here before I open these up?
I immediately see another 19, so we're going back to what happened in the first half. Slemness dropping 19 frags, making sure that kills are secured. Didn't have that happen previously for their team, so, you know, trying to change things around. But deep in the driver's seat for damage this time around, hitting 362, not quite in the 400 or 500 DPM club as we saw the previous two halves go, but still a collected map for them, so I'm sure they don't care about that. Deaths slightly more even this time, I'd say, in comparison, but it is in Skis' favor, so it makes sense, you know, if they got 2 rounds ahead for the map, so.
Yeah, and we'll be opening up combined here in a moment on stream. Again, 4-2 was the final score, and it looks like these logs might be a bit messed up, because Alex definitely didn't have 1,700
DPM pod.
He's crazy, dude. One thing that isn't exaggerated are the air shots. Alex and Benny both hitting 4, and not much else as Habib only hitting 1, as well as a few others. What is that? Ash and Blaze both hitting 1, but some nice pipes there from Alex, some nice rockets there from Benny. But what are you looking at here? Although these might be inflated,
the damage is pretty much thrown in the trash, but the KDs are accurate. So the main thing you want to look at there, if anything, is that. So definitely want to look at the medic deaths because it is Koth after all. Ski is pulling ahead by 5. Definitely important to make sure you have your medic up to be able to put out, you know, heals for your team and you know, make sure you can get Ubers to, you know, hold the point pretty well. But Sumnus still topping the charts, just slightly above Yite. I think Yite didn't really have like any flashy stats throughout any of the rounds, I'm pretty sure, or halves that we saw played, but when you add them all up, it seems like he did a pretty good job, just not quite enough for them to, you know, take the map at the end of the day. But
you know what I'm seeing here? GCI 22 Ubers, Froyotech 21 Ubers, but no drops? Is that right?
That sounds right.
I don't think we've seen a drop here. And another thing to note is the side of GCI was able to take the first 2 mids, but lost the first 2 rounds, and then it was back and forth. Froyotech, takes some mid, and then GCI takes some mid. Of course, GCI was able to find the next 2 rounds, but then Froyotech able to adjust and find those last 2. Bit back and forth here with the mid fights is what I'm trying to point out. And then if you look at the overall kills, I think damage might be a little bit inflated, but it's 167 for Froyotech to 161 for GCI in the first round, or excuse me, first half specifically. The frags were heavily in favor of the side of Froyotech, but GCI maybe turning things around a little bit. I don't think a 4-2 is an accurate representation of what we just saw here.
Yep. Every time you see a score line on Koth, you wonder how close are the actual rounds, you know. So definitely saw a lot of close ones, and was definitely an exciting match to watch. But now we put Koth behind us, and we look forward to the first time I think we're going to see these two teams play 5ZP on stream the whole season, because this was what the third Koth map that we've seen them play. It was clear cut bagel, but now we are on to Villa.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how this one plays. I will be honest, I don't think I've ever actually played this map. I've casted it a few times, but this map is new to me and as well new to the community. So Jarrett, run us through how you expect this map to be played compared to other 5CP maps, and maybe compared to the map we just saw as well. Like, what are you expecting to see from either team here?
This map is pretty straightforward and fights actually break out, I'm pretty sure, because it's not really a soldier map in some regards, because sometimes it can be difficult to really find like a super sick spot to land, like give or take a couple areas on the map. So it can be pretty rough to, once you actually your team wants to fight, you really just have to be in sometimes, depending. So it's definitely something to keep your eyes out for when it comes to the way that the teams decide to play the map. It's a little bit different than what we saw in Bagel, because there's definitely some spam angles inside the houses that you could use to be really effective and apply a lot of damage for your team without actually committing your life. But if you try to do that on this map, you might not find exactly the same success given the angles that you're presented with. There are a couple opportunities where you can find a little perch to stand on and rain down on a team without exactly committing your life, but you might just get spammed off of it if you're not too careful. So probably the most of my attention is going to be put there and to see how well both the soldiers are able to adjust. The rest of the map, I would say, is just pretty much. It can be decent for scout in some areas because it can be open, but there's also a lot of doors and little hidey holes for sticky traps and places where a demo man can really reign supreme. So I'd say there's a fair amount of scouts and demos finding some moments, but soldiers it can be a bit rough sometimes.
Now, if you are able to, could you remind us all whose map pick this was?
Let's check.
I ask you because I don't know and I can't find it very quickly. Dolphin, do you know?
GCI picked it.
GCI picked this. Okay, so Froyotech had the first map pick, and they were able to take that 4-2, and now GCI comes in here with a map that Froyotech maybe doesn't have a lot of experience on. They have played this in the regular season. I don't know if GCI has as well, but you really, if you're a fan of GCI and or a fan of long matches, as I am, you definitely want to see GCI take this one as it is their map pick.
I mean, if you pick a map, I would imagine you have some sort of strategy about it, right? Like you either feel comfortable or like the matchup you think is good when you compare the two teams. So there's a reason why they picked it. The question is what is that reason, and are we going to see that when we're actually looking at the match? Are there any like weird strategies they were going to pull out, or just not even necessarily weird strategies, but just things that they think will work well against Froyotech is going to be the big question that we're going to be keeping our eyes peeled for, I would say.
Yeah, I would have to agree. And it sounds like Froyotech has readied up, although in STV time, we're still waiting for them to all join in on the server. Again, this is map number 2. We are on CP Villa, and this is the upper bracket round 2. GCI is currently down 1 map to 0. Froyotech was able to take the first one, 4-2. My name's Godfather, joined by Jared on the mic, Dolphin behind the scenes, but most of you already know that, so continuing on looking forward here, I'm very excited to see what Soldiers is able to do. I want to see Banny and Blaze, and I want to see the side of Ash and Laz making some big plays, especially on this mid-fight. Coordinated bombs can be absolutely devastating to a medic. It's hard to escape from what I've been able to see here casting some other matches, not invite matches, not on this stream, if you will, but casting some other ones, but medic staying alive can be difficult with those soldier bombs, so I'm excited to see what the side of Ash and Laz and Banny and Blaze are able to do, but you've already mentioned the soldiers. Are there any other matchups that you might see be particularly important here on this CP Villa?
I I probably want to look at the flank. If I had to make a blind assumption on why GCI picked the map, I feel like the last time I saw Froyotech struggle on this map, it was because their flank got picked. So if that is the same thing that's going through their minds on why they picked Villa, then I'm going to kind of keep my eyes on the flank matchups between the two teams to see what happens during the transitions. But we are going live in the rollout, so we're going to go ahead and work our way towards the first mid-fight here. Going to be interesting to see who comes on top and sets the pace for the match. Go ahead and take it away, Godfather.
Will do. Habib getting very low, down to 69 health, getting a lot of damage in is the soldier, but Habib will get healed up here, finding an arrow. Even though that spam is persistent, the heals are too much to find the frag. Nobody down so far. Soldier's gonna jump up on above point, but unable to find anything. Eric now behind in a situation, trying to do a brand slam. It looks like Ash will actually be taken out, and now Laz very weak as well. Slam trades out on the other side. Alex finding a nice pipe onto him, and there goes Slam as well. But brand slam and Laz both taken out. Alex now very weak as his 4-4. That's the kill, and Froyotech is looking very clean on this mid, keeping their meta alive. That's a full team wipe, only losing Blaze and Slam. And there we go. Mid number 1 again, looking very clean for Froyotech. They'll push it on to second, get ready to work their way into last. We have Brent Sam coming up, Sniper. Are you expecting any other off classes here, Jarrett?
It's probably, pretty stable to have some sort of engineer on most last, so you can have some room to kite and have your medic run away and make sure it doesn't die, but also be able to protect the point properly. We see the gun go ahead and being built up right behind the caps. Anyone who gets on it has to definitely deal with it. It's also in a little bit of a blind spot depending on the door you walk through, so might give you a, it might take a second for you to actually, see where it is to be able to kill it. It seems like they do see it through this main shutter, so it is going to go down immediately. Never mind, Caster's Curse. They are able to spot it properly and not holding down the doors probably, but it seems like an immediate Uber coming out of Froyotech, running straight across the point, able to get the string gun build up once again, only level 1, but Alex getting caught out is going to fall. Going to lose Habib as well, though, going a little bit too deep, but trading Demoman is not necessarily a bad thing for the side of Froyotech. They've collected a lot of kills, but it's a 3v3 scenario right now. Have to be careful. You have to make sure you collect as many frags as possible. Yeah, he's going to fall, just ransom up for the GCI. Saw kill for 4-4, trying to get more. Oh, but it's not Saw, though.
No.
It's the solemn vow. If that was the Uber Saw, he would have Uber, but it seems like he doesn't need the Uber Saw to have Uber. That's a little bit of a beat coming up. Merrick not able to collect the medic, and Ski just stands still and kill Vine. Okay. Well,
okay.
Successful hold from 4-4. 4-4. It just has the jukes, I guess.
4-4 is insane. And in game chat, just Brand Slam is asking, what the heck, how? And Laz is surprised as well, and Habib just being like, that happens. But now we've decided GCI are going to be able to work forward, but Froyotech not going to give it the space. They're going to be working forward themselves, trying to continue this presence.
Oh,
Alex
here
comes the bomb. Skis is up in the air. Can he crater? No. Now the pressure has to be in. Bandit goes down. Brand Slam as well. Yeah, Alex also found their demise. 2 down for the side of Froyotech. There goes 4-4 actually taken out. Can anybody find Skis? No. 2 alive, 1 alive as Laz is taken out by Habib with the longsword. That, of course, is the... Oh, God, I forgot the name of the weapon. That's so embarrassing, but there's pressure in onto point regardless of the name of the Hapsatoichi. And that will be round number 1. God, that is embarrassing. I forgot the name of a melee weapon in TF2. Wow.
It happens. It's not like it's used all the time or anything, but we saw a nice flank coming in from Froyotech, creating a distraction to allow them to not have the GCI post-Uber be what it needed to be able to hold on to the second point and last. But going into another mid-fight, we're going to have both teams rolling out through the library books area, presenting themselves on high ground. To begin putting out some decent spam on the other team, seems like Blaze is going to sit near the choke. Maybe get ready for a bomb, or at least more aggressive spam. A lot of damage on Alex, dropped to 80 HP. Has to make sure he can stand still to take an arrow and be a-okay. But Froyotech doesn't want to jump off it. They're just getting a little bit of presence on the point and on the high ground to put even better spam onto the side of GCI, but not quite enough to be able to, actually, it's going to be enough to prompt Laz jumping in, able to collect Blaze, and it seems like that's going to be enough for that side of the fight. So there's going to be a fountain fight coming in from Ash and Eric, a little bit of a scrappy fight, but it seems like 4-4 immediately dying to Habib. Habib's on a kill streak of 2, maybe even more, but it seems like the Uber will get popped off, and they're going to play it safe and make sure they can stay alive. But that pipe across the map is going to net them the kill they need. But Ash going in, not able to hit the mark. That's Skis taking a little bit of damage, but surviving through it as they work their way over towards the second point, getting ready to cap it up and use their Uber ad to eventually push last.
You'll have to see what the side of Froyotech is ready to do on this last push. They have such a big ad right now. Skis at 85 building fast, 4-4 just approaching 20% now. They're going to do their best to keep this build going, but with no gun up, actually now Yite just switching to NG, but look at underneath right now. Here comes the Uber from the side of Froyotech as they decide to push in onto left. They find Alex early on. No traps on point. Can anyone get in onto the point is the question. Froyotech is going to be working their way. But here comes the bomb. Habib is able to find Ash as well. Through 3 down now. Fanny goes down, but there is a cab. It is a quick 2-0 from Froyotech. GCI is not looking good here tonight after a pretty close 4-2 on the first map. Villa is proving to be more difficult. Froyotech up 2 rounds to 0. And yeah, very keen to see what happens next in this mid.
Yep, gonna see spam once again going on. Alex is actually really aggressive, trying to put out as much damage as possible. It's a sizable amount, but nothing too crazy. What is gonna be crazy though is double soldier bomb, able to collect a kill on the beeps. That's no demo for the side of Froyotech they're gonna have to deal with. Fanny is falling as well, trying to take an arrow in the corner, but is not gonna be able to get it in time. Yite is gonna fall, but Eric's gonna fall as well. So gonna be enough of a player ad for GCI that Froyotech's gonna go ahead and leave. Worth way back in the lobby. Laz can jump at the gun a little bit, going a little bit too aggressive, is gonna fall. Doesn't have his team quite with him yet as they are capping and catching up, but nonetheless, GCI have some sort of positioning onto, but just not quite enough to make Froyotech so scared that they're backing up. It's actually going to be the opposite. They're running forward. They know that it's a roughly even Ubers, and they're very confident trying to run at the enemy team. Uber popped in. There's going to be an Uber change coming out. Habib on the other side of the map. Oh, barely. Flash is going to live for now. This poster, though, might be a sticky situation. Ash is going to fall.
Down players.
Yeah, bomb coming in from players, trying to work his way into RGL, able to collect that frag, and but not without sacrificing his life. No demo for either side now. Habib has fallen, and it seems like Yite is creating enough of a distraction. Brand Slam going straight to last. This cap has gone off, and he's just gunning straight for it.
No way!
Point, distracting the entire team, able to get on the point, but it's enough distraction to allow Yite and Last to bomb straight through, but enough damage to clean up one. He's going straight through.
Yite has to go so big right now. Can he find skis? No. Okay, that was probably the most chaotic. Chaotic is the only word. The most chaotic fight we've seen maybe all season, especially from these two teams. There was so much damage going every which way. You had late spawners from the side of GCI who had to work their way forward, try to clean up damage that was just a little bit too early from their respective. Ash is going to be taken out by Bandy now as Froyotech is working their way into second, but that was the opportunity for GCI. I think if they had slowed down just a little bit and gotten ready for a push altogether, they could have definitely taken out Skis, who now has this Uber ad. It's not too big of an ad, about 80% right now for the set of 4-4, but they are going to be working their way in. They find Yite early on as they use to get this point. Can they find any other kills is the question. It doesn't look like it. Blaze is going to eat an arrow from his medic, get healed up.
Oh, Alex is straight in.
Here's Ash trying to come in as well to help out. The counter pop has come forward, trying to clean up kills. Last very weak will actually get taken down on the flank. Skis is so low, down below 20 health, but not going down. There he goes! And we have the medic death, but can 4-4 stay alive? Down around 50 health right now is the question. Can Bandy find the kill? Bandy gets the pickaxe onto Ash. Oh my god, Blaze comes in, cleans it up, and we have 2 alive from the side of GCI. The team wipe onto Froyotech. That is the chaos. It's chaos TF2 right now, Jared. I don't know what else to say. Like, am I wrong here, or is this just absolutely madness?
It's a lot of dry fights, using every single advantage you can, especially Froyotech right now, knowing that GCI rolls out slow enough that they're able to get some presence onto and some stickies up on the floor to slow them down. GCI definitely showing face though. Want to make sure they're able to put up a decent fight before the rest of the respawners from Froyotech show up. A lot of damage on Habib, has to back up, but Alex is going to be a little bit overextended and is going to fall, so no Dillman for the side of GCI. Slam's going to fall, but Last Bomb going to be able to collect that kill. Not anything they can really write home about. Yite is going to fall as well. Blaze getting cleaned up on top of that, so it's going to slow down a little bit now. It seems like not able to... Oh, never mind. As soon as I say that, Laz finding the opening through the shutter and able to collect Skis. I should have kept my mouth shut. I shouldn't have said it was slowing down. Proves me wrong. Able to collect that frag, and now what could have been a pretty slow and stalemate even scenario leaves 4-4 in the driver's seat, 90%. Not too much longer until they get their Uber. Just have to get Laz up, get situated, and get ready to go.
Sniper. We have to be careful. If you are a fan of GCI, you have to be watching out Eric, known for hitting shots in crucial moments. Branson working their way forward. There's a bit of a juggle going around. Can please go down right now. He's very weak, but finds some help. Now the Uber, or the pressure is in. Uber already pops out. Habib goes down. The gun is also down. There's pressure in onto point from the side of GCI, but they will lose Alex. And on the other side, Blaze goes down, but there's so much damage from the side of Froyotech. GCI is going to lose 3. Ash going down pretty late here. Yite going to follow suit as well. Can 4-4 escape. We have to see Laz stall for the light and actually finding one as Slam will go down here. Now the chase is on.
Escaped.
Can you find 404? No is the answer. So an Uber ad of about 20%, likely not going to be enough to push off of though Jarrett. I'm excited to see what this next fight holds in stock for, or in store for us, excuse me, as Ubers will begin to even up. Maybe a fast push though from Froyotech. What do you think here?
Yeah, they're trying to use what ad they can. Laz is going to fall, going to get trapped immediately from Habib, so good play from him. So now they're not necessarily going off of the Uber ad, but just off the straight-up player ad, as we probably will see an Uber exchange coming from GCI, as they are definitely holding their ground. Underneath the point, runs Branson, trying to go onto the enemy demo man, putting some damage onto him, is going to get flashed. Habib is, so not going to die today, but 4-4 juggled up into the air and continuing by Habib, so a little bit disconnected from Branson. Going to be A-okay at the end of the day, though, but they are down Laz. It is a 5v6 scenario. They have to work their way through. Only one soldier, and he's immediately dead, so no soldiers quite there yet for the side of GCI. Have to hold on as long as they can, but Bandy and Blaze falling in, trying to put a lot of damage onto the board. Alex is going to fall, Branson falling as well. So with only 2 players left alive for GCI, it is not enough for them to work with, and they will concede the midpoint and back up to their own 2.
Look at this situation though. We have about even Ubers, Froyotech in a bit of an advantage, and we have 18.5 minutes left for GCI to start to turn this around. So we'll have to see if they're able to make something insane happen on their second, really turn this around. But Jared, you are going crazy, my man, on the mic here tonight. It's been a pleasure so far casting with you. We'll have to see what GCI begins to do. Froyotech is at 100%, now 4-4, also at that full Uber, and now working, trying to figure out what they want to do. I'm thinking maybe GCI wants to take this. Look at the Froyotech positioning. They're not being very aggressive. We have to watch out, see what GCI is looking for, but I think maybe, Jared, is this a situation where Froyotech is trying to bait forward GCI before they come forward?
No, I think they're just trying to do the best they can to spot him. It can be kind of difficult sometimes. Like, library and the books areas can be a decent way to see a whole lot of the point at once if you're able to, find some way to work your way in. But it seems like it's going to be a 2-man. They've been passive enough. They're able to work their way onto 4-4, but not actually any damage on him. It's going to be 4-4's teammates that take the damage and be A-okay. So try to play that a little bit slow to find an opening, and just notice that GCR was far back enough. They are just run through the door. It's fine. But they are too far away to actually get to the target they wanted to go to. Laz going to go in for a counter sack, not able to quite hit the mark, and it seems like Eric's sniper is going to be a play, which I do not disagree with. If GCI refuses to hold doors close, then you're going to have to take them out of their comfort zone and force them. So Eric saw the positioning and knows the perfect counter for it. So GCI going to have to adjust the best they can after Eric takes his first couple sniper shots and lets himself be known in Fountain.
I'm watching Eric's POV right now, though. If he's able to find a nice headshot on it, oh, he's not quite seeing it as Alex is spamming out, or doing his best to spam out, his position, unable to find too much damage. I'm going to swap off of the Eric POV, but watch out where his dot is looking. GCI, is happy to see on their second right now and make sure that it's Froyotech who has to take the first move, especially with the sniper. Assuming they don't get picked, here comes a little bit of spam actually in from Ash, working his way forward is Brandslam right now, forcing back the sniper, so Eric has to think about where he wants to rotate to, and it looks like he's going to be looking around through choke instead. Here comes a Yite flank, and he finds a beam! That is a big opening picked out. He will go
now
down.
Laz,
That
no
is
one's
Yite.
watching
Now
the
here comes
Flux
the Bandits.
library area!
Oh, Jared, take over here. The big bomb from Laz. What do you expect to
Soldier
see
behind.
now?
Uber Force coming from 4-4. It's going to be an even Uber exchange at the end of the day, but not in favor of 4-4. Bainey is going to fall, but not without Alex falling as well. So 3v3 scenario, but it is in GCI's territory. So if it goes long enough, it could be okay for them. But Bransland fall is going to spell disaster. Skis is going to fall, so have to be careful. Ash is going to be the last one to fall out of the fragging classes. So Yite on cleanup duty, trying to chase on whoever he can. Have to be careful. Slemdish is on point. Kind of want to block this, but you know the beat is rolling out, so it's kind of a bit of a sticky situation to be in. Yite is going to be caught in no man's land, almost getting the frag onto Blaze, but not quite hitting the mark. So, nice flank play coming from GCI going through the library area, but they themselves made the same mistake and left their fountain open, getting forced and having a very bad Uber and thus post-Uber positioning for them to try to fight with. So, Froyotech own the second point and have an okay ad to work with. It's possible to use. They're trying to build it up, and I can only imagine they'll give it an honest go. But GCI, it seems like it's Sniper is going to be the only off class you really have. So if Froyotech do decide to go in with this Uber, they can go straight to the enemy combo, straight to the demo, whatever they want. There's no gun. Oh, it's crits. No wonder it's an ad.
No way, they got the... Okay, so I was wondering why the... Oh, here's the crit! They get 4-4! Oh my god, the immediate kill on the medic, and now working their way forward, they find Brandsome and Ash as well. Bandy plays both gonna get traded out on the other side. Skis is weak. Can they find the kill? That, of course, GCI is the main goal. They find him! Oh, wait! Oh my god, Alex and Yite, the only ones alive right now for the side of GCI, and there goes Alex taken out. It's just Yite staying alive in the post-fight. Eric, excuse me, going to go down. That was one player alive. We had 11 die after that crits goes through, and GCI will be capping up their second. We rarely see a Froyo crits. Very nice, but unfortunately they are unable to connect there and clean it up. And here's the damage in. Alex is weak. Ash will actually go down, but he trades out Banny on the other side. Yeah, cleaning up that kill. Can you find anything else on the other side? Skis! He's taken out, and there goes the rest of Froyotech. Habib, the only one alive right now.
He's a late death too.
Shutter, trying to escape, finds a pack, but he will get chased down. Two go down. It's Ash and Alex for the side of GCI. Another team wipe, one after another, it seems, at this point in the match, Jarrett. Absolute chaos. GCI working their way forward. We have 13.5 minutes on the clock in this half for GCI to really make their move and get the ball rolling on their side. Again, in search of global domination against the Giants that are Froyotech.
Yep, Uber ad coming from GCI. Habib is not quite in position because he's rolling out from being a late spawner, so have to be careful. Laz getting air shot, has to be careful as well. But it seems like GCI has made enough of a move to work their way inside of the second point. Eric is behind lingering, and they do know of his presence though, have two soldiers back looking for him, and maybe sending a third, but that might be enough of a distraction for Froyotech to maybe make a move, but it seems like they are too far away into their own last already to do any such thing, especially with 404. Still having his Uber, Skis only at 70%, it seems like the chase is on. Working their way towards Shutter, immediately popping through, Alex bombing in to the other side of the map to try to get anything. It's going to be a little bit slow, but will eventually happen. Actually, Habib going down. Skis is caught, immediately dead, and that's going to be 3 players left alive for Froyotech who are not in position to block. So a nice chase from GCI to be able to work their way from mid to 2 to last and collect that cap right off the bat.
This has been proving time and time again to be a very fun match to watch. We are 2-1 with 12 minutes and counting down at just over 12 minutes in the half. It is 2-1 in favor of Froyotech after taking this first round. For those tuning in now, I'm Godfather, joined by Jarrett. We're in on this mid there. Here's a little bit of pressure in from the doubles pull. Soldier bomb trying to find Habib to get him. Can they find anything else? Oh no, Les will go down. Shooting out a soldier for the demo is a worthwhile pick as the side of Froyotech rotating around, taking a bit of presence there, but they lose Eric as well. Alec with those stickies now. The chase is on. Can they find Slam as well? Brand Slam doing his best, but he'll be stalled out by this soldier. Banny doing a great job in library area. I think that's the call. Blaze has taken down on the flank, and there goes who is that? Slam taken out as well. Now the pressure, GCI just on a steamroll right now, taking out Banny as well. Can they find the force? They do. As Banny taken out before that Uber is popped. Now GCI will likely be on a full 100% Uber ad to push into Laz. Jarrett, This has been a fun round to watch in terms of GCI making a little bit of a comeback here. As
Oh, here they come.
Last go ahead here.
Yep, trying to find the way onto the enemy team, working their way all the way up to their spawns, getting decent damage on Habib, drop really low, gonna get able to be in spawn and not necessarily die, but bombing onto Skis is Ash, able to get a little bit of damage, and Skis gonna go ahead and back up to spawn, able to collect Aaron on the other side of the map though, so have to make sure you be careful because Alex and Branson have died, and it seems like, oh, last second, Skis dies to a bomb from Laz, just swallowed to him, actually, I'm pretty sure.
No.
So, gonna be 4-4
dies.
chasing for his life. Slem is weak though, one nice arrow, and Slem could die here. He took the pack, and I think
Habib's there.
Oh yeah, Habib is there to apply some support, and that is going to be a dead medic.
Dude, I'm not rooting one way or the other here. For just to clarify, I'm looking for a long match.
You want a third match? That's what you want. You want a third map.
I will not say anything other than I want a third map. Every time I cast, I want a third map, and I want GCI therefore to be able to close, or at the very least, make this close.
Oh,
again,
sniper on Yite.
Yeah, it's gonna come forward on Cyber. Very ballsy play here, and the pressure is in. They pick up Bandy actually. GCI not looking to give up any ground. Froyotech known for taking it, but GCI is saying not tonight. But yeah, as I was saying, I definitely want to see a good long match come out here as Blaze take a bit of spam from the side of Alex, who will rotate around.
Nice.
Blaze is actually taking it out. Ash with, I think that's a direct now. Skis uses it, taking out Ash. Alex also going down because they find the medic though. That is the important kill to find 4-4. Trying to dance out. Brand Slam there to help, and that will be an Uber just for a mid for Froyotech. You know, not what they want here. They definitely want, and if not need, to find that medic pick. Now, GCI and 404 having that full Uber to work with, but Ski's already at 30% in this post Uber, so you might see like a 50-60% situation here, so you definitely need to find Skis. Here comes the Uber. They're going to be coming forward, trying to find Blaze. Here's the bomb though. Blaze is taken out. Can they find Banny as well, who comes forward? Ash is taken out by Slem with the help of Banny, who does inevitably fall. Now, the Uber is going to be in favor of Skis, who did not go down, exactly what GCI didn't need. Habib setting up those traps by Library. I believe that's the right call. Am I right there, Jarrett, with Library being the correct call out?
Yeah, it's a call based on the fact there's bookshelves and stuff inside the room. It's either library, books, whatever. It's basically that room. But it's going to be a bit slow for Froyotech to push through. They had to wait for the soldiers to respawn. They're even still not in position and buffed quite yet. So this ad is dwindling, and they know it. They really want to desperately go through the doors, but I think they've kind of realized that because they had to wait so long for their soldier respawners, their ad is basically unusable. Hit to just sit back and chill and not take a high-risk scenario and just go ahead and set up for a defensive 2, which was, I think, our second stalemate of the match so far. So
it's been very fast-paced so far, I will say. We haven't had much stalemates, which I've very much enjoyed. 2-1 for your attack, but go on, Jarrett.
It's almost as if we're watching a second Koth map, but we see GCI inside Fountain trying to make some space for their players to get through. Laz immediately bombing in just a little bit to get some extra room, but it's going to be actually Banny that's bombing through himself. Slemish is going to fall. It seems like there's a bit of a scrappy fight on the other side of the map near the Fountain area. Laz has burst his way through and is actually going behind, not straight onto the enemy team. Blaze is doing the same thing, so a lot of room being taken by GCI. It seems like it might be an Uber change that might come their direction.
Uses.
Yep, popped first, able to get a kill on the Blaze. Have to be careful with this post Uber. It is a 4v4, so but they are fighting into Froyotech's territory. Ash going behind, gonna die, gonna be unfortunate for him. They have to make sure they clean up Froyotech really fast here if they want to be able to live for long enough, but 4-4 is going to fall, so medic down for the side of GCI is gonna be difficult for them to deal with. Alex on his last legs of life, trying to find anything while he's still in here, but gonna get cleaned up by Eric and Yite, trying to clean up any damage that Alex did, but it's not quite enough for a frag to go their direction, so promising beginning and a little bit scrappy, but not quite what GCI needed for them to take the 2, and it's actually going to be them losing mid with disad on their own 2, and maybe, no, they're going to get their forwards. They're not capping fast enough for Froyotech, but it's not going to be too much longer until Skis gets a Zuber and pushes with their ad into GCI's second point.
Yeah, we'll have to see here with what the side of Froyotech is looking to do. They have about 30% ad here, working the way up. Actually, no, more than that. More like a 40 to 50% ad. Excuse me. Couldn't even do basic math here. Here comes a bomb from the side of Froyotech, trying to open things up here, force GCI back. But so far unsuccessful.
Laz on the
working
beam.
the way in. Oh, trying to find trying to kill, but no,
surf.
he'll go down as Alex will pick up the, or excuse me, Eric, not Alec, will pick up the kill, but Alex now finds Eric. So many A's in this game right now. It's tough for a caster to continue talking now. Though Froyotech has the opportunity to keep working forward. We have to be careful though. Branson coming up on an engineer, even Uber situation. No other off classes though for GCI. Is it too late to get this gun set up if you are Brand Slam at the side? GCI, oh, wait,
there's your answer.
As there's the answer, exactly what you were saying. Alex also getting taken out. There goes Brand Slam as well. Bandy and Blaze both gonna die. There goes Laz as well. So 3 down for GCI. The Ubers popped out on both sides. I believe the first pop was Froyotech, who lose Eric late into the fight. 3 go down for both sides, and it looks like the side of GCI is going to be able to reset. Off classes have swapped back to normal classes. Maybe now is the correct time to start setting up a sentry nest. What do you think here, Jarrett?
You could if you wanted to. It gives you some decent defense, but the defense is pretty solidified into that one area of the map. There are some decent, actually pretty crazy spots that can be really difficult to deal with, depending on where you want your defense to be set up. And it seems like they are going to go the route of the engineer. It's a pretty good call, I'd say. You know, generally you're going to see some sack waves happening. So as long as anyone doesn't get picked that, you know, the sentry doesn't cover, then you should be a-okay, so makes sense. Trying to spam down early though is gonna immediately find that sentry gun, and with it dead, shoulder bombing in onto Alex, and this is not hard, he just dies. There's Alex and 4-4, I just find themselves on this last in particular very, very separated. But it cost them 3 deaths to be able to collect those 2, so they're actually not able to really do anything off of that. GCI are now in the driver's seat to make a move of their own, and it seems like they're working their way inside lobby with their sniper, seeing if they get any sort of angle, but Laz going in right off the bat, finds him around the wall and able to collect that force onto Skis. So nice play from him. I don't think so. I think that was I think it was a skill plan. Just a mini crit.
I saw he was jumping, and I wasn't sure if that was an air pipe or not, but regardless, a late death there by Laz. 10 seconds on his respawn, and that will most certainly mean GCI is not feeling the waters in terms of pushing their way out. Although, this aggression, look at, they do have ad, they have 100% right now, but can they steamroll? No. Can they work their way out? Yes. And that is what they are doing. GCI is going to start working their way onto point as Skis is building up. Yite is on the flank right now, but very low, and Eric's going to pick up the kill. Watching that flank battle now, Eric has an opportunity to go behind, but Laz and Ash, both soldiers going behind. This is not going to be a good fight for GCI as they pop the Uber and they find 2, and somehow 4-4 serving forward to help a Brandsheim who's chasing very deep, trying to pick up the Skis. Can Brandsheim find this kill onto Skis? Inbound, here comes Habib, trying to find the kill. Oh, no!
Oh, Alex is in! Oh, the pipe from Habib. Able to protect his medic and make sure that Skis does not force there. And that Uber advantage for them is going to net them a pretty good situation to be able to not only hold on to mid, but eventually push back into 2, which they've recently lost once they get their players ready to go. Speaking of getting players ready to go, they have all there except Slemnish trying to poke their way through the choke and the library doors at the same time, and GCI nowhere to be found. They've gotten out of dodge right off the bat, all the way straight to last. Don't want to accidentally get cut off through lobby or something silly like that. Getting ready for their defense. Gonna be a heavy this time around, don't have time for a gun, and it seems like Froyotech's gonna immediately pop through the shutter doors. Habib going straight into the spawn, but he's gonna meet a heavy and immediately melts in. Not expect that, so that's gonna be unfortunate for him. Before out no means land is going to die, so it is a meta collected for the side of Froyotech. Have to be careful. They only really have their heals to play off of. There are still 3 players left alive. They can't be too hasty. They need to play this very carefully if they want to secure this round immediately. Trying to go off and on the point after they've collected some health. Ash is counter initiating and going to be able to collect Eric, but Ash and Brandsam dropping for it, and that is a round. Pretty nice job, despite the beginning for Froyotech to make sure they cut their losses after they got 4-4. Back up, reheal inside lobby, then repush and clean up the rest of the players.
See, that last play, you had the, if I'm not mistaken, and correct me if I'm wrong, we did have the heavy on defense, right?
Yeah, we had a heavy because there was not enough time for an engineer.
So we had that heavy, and then the heavy swapped off, and I'm just gonna say it time and time again, no matter what I'm casting, I've seen a heavy just go huge on last, and I think losing that heavy, swapping off of that heavy when you're still 3 down, that is not the right play there.
Well,
And
they would have just spammed him if he existed there. So I think getting off of it was fine, but it was the timing. I'm pretty sure he thought that Froyotech wasn't pushing anymore, like they had left, right? I don't think he had anticipated their return, so he just like got off. But then they entered, and he wasn't, the player wasn't there to actually help fight. So the timing was pretty poor. But we do have logs on the screen to go ahead and take a peek at how players are doing. Slim just once again topping the board with the frag count. We've seen that as a pretty relatively consistent pattern throughout the night. Medic deaths are going to be even this time around, not necessarily going too crazy in one team's direction. Just slight advantage towards Skis dying 2 times fewer, but it's nothing too crazy on 5CP.
But look at the assist number. Skis assists, not like the greatest stat in the world, but it can tell you how connected the medic is to their combo. Skis with 25 assists to just 7 from 404 here. Skis is playing tighter, and the side of Froyotech is playing tighter, and they are winning as a result, 102 kills to 88, and they are actually losing the DM battle down about 2.5 thousand damage to the side of GCI, but finding the frags, and frags will win fights, and winning fights will win rounds. So regardless of the damage output, Froyotech is finding the frags and winning these rounds.
And it's actually important that you bring out attention towards the assist. One, because I'm pretty sure it's not on the board for stream. It's just simple KD assists aren't in play there for the viewers to see. But the big thing is, from what we've seen so far throughout the entire night, a lot in Bagel and a lot tonight. Anytime, maybe not anytime, but a lot of the time, 4-4 gets initiated on, and he has to make sure that he is as safe as possible. It seems like the rest of GCI are not able to be on the same page as him with his positioning and the fact that he's maybe weak and has to play to pack, or just needs to generally play passive because they're gunning for him. And so once they are able to put enough pressure onto him, the fights that are happening are disconnected. Like, the GCI beam is nowhere near where kills are happening a decent chunk of the game. So Froyotech is definitely taking advantage of the fact that if you get the fight a little bit in your favor off the bat, you'll find moments where someone that would normally be on beam with 4-4 is no longer. A lot of the time it can be, RGLgg we saw a couple times during last pushes, 4-4 would get jumped on and hurt, and he'd back up, but Alex would kind of stand his ground, and then Alex would immediately just die because he no longer is beamed in innate capacity. But you can also see it sometimes with some of the scout targets where, the scout won't necessarily, he'll see something, he'll be buffed, and he'll want to go and chase something, but at the same time, 4-4 gets jumped and they just get separated. And then for the longevity of the fight, it doesn't bode well for them. So definitely some adjustments there when it comes to making sure that when you collect kills, it is as together as you possibly can, so it doesn't just happen to be a trade, and it's definitely a net positive for your team in the long run.
Now, Jared, as we are in this downtime between halves, 4-4 looks like disconnected there. And shout out to all of the viewers. We have so many people here tuning into the cast. Exclamation point YouTube in chat if you've missed any of these matches throughout the season, which have been terrific on stream. Looks like Froyotech is readying up, though, just wanting to continue on as they are 3-1 in the map and 1-0 right now in terms of maps in this best of 3. Again, the number 1 seed taking on the number 2 seed. Perhaps a preview of what we might see in playoffs here. So hopefully GCI is able to turn things around in terms, of course, speaking hopefully in terms of a great match to watch for all of our viewers here tonight. I'm excited to see maybe what they're able to do to turn things around. What are you expecting from GCI, though, especially on mid fights, in what they can do better here, Jarrett?
Well, actually, I think so far for mid fights, they haven't been too terrible. Most of the time, anything that's really spelled disaster for them has been Habib. I feel like GCI's soldiers have been able to do really well if they're able to, put Habib very low or kill him really early on in the mid. So if they can find opportunities to do that once again, and they can, have a better place to put themselves in the higher ground, just put soldiers on top of the mid itself, and it can really bode well for your team. But obviously, Froyotech are not going to just let their Doman die, so it's a little bit of a tall order ahead of you if you are going to bank on killing a single player for your mid-fight victories. But speaking of mid-fight victories, kind of curious what's going to happen this time around as we do enter another mid-fight. Really aggressive plays coming in from Alex right off the bat, sticking off the choke so Blaze can't immediately bomb in, and they're actually going to be putting so much pressure on him. Both soldiers did a fake bomb to try to apply pressure, but not quite enough damage on there to make him so scared, especially because he has a pack to work with if he got hurt. So far, it seems like it's going to be pressure back and forth and not necessarily committing a bunch of fake bombs across the board. We have Laz inside the kitchen, and it seems like, or Fountain rather, it seems like Ash is taking the high ground, a bit of a distraction for Laz to bomb in, get some damage on the skis, but skis surfing towards his opponents, taking a lot of damage, and will eventually fall, so 2 soldiers down for trading the medic frag, but with Branson falling as well, it's going to be too much of a tall order for GCI to stay in. Alex trying to escape, but will fall, but they are out of there all the way back to Laz. They are too far gone. They will settle with the med frag and just leave back to spawn.
That chase there, if Froyotech somehow had been able to find 4-4, that would spell doom here. Again, 3-1, not a great situation for GCI. They're trying to hold on to the last. Second cap's going to start coming forward, and so is Froyotech. They're actually going to lose 2, though. They turned out Ash, but no soldiers for Froyotech. Is that enough to push up? We'll have to see if the side of GCI is willing to take the risk here, but I think they're just going to be taking it pretty passive. Froyotech exchanging a bit of spam. Here goes a bomb from the soldier trying to pick up the beat.
Air shot.
The air shot from Laz gets the cap in as well. Is the side of GCI with that combo sitting on the gazebo. Now working their way in onto mid with no demo, and also losing Blaze as well. Brimson finding that pick off early, and Fanny is the target next for the side of GCI, trying to pick up this focus fire. Here goes a bomb from Laz, trying to clean things up. Is the scout, and finding Fanny is Branson. Great job there from GCI, picking up these kills with the focus fire coming through and the cleanup from your flank players. The Ubers are even though, and Slime will actually go down early. Oh, the Ubers are exchanged. Actually, no, only skis popping. Yet goes down. 4-4 has not popped yet, as it looks like they're getting ready to walk through. Coming over here, walking forward onto point. Now they're going to actually go through Shutter, trying to pick off this demo. They'll find Habib. Can they find anything else onto this medic? Doesn't look like it. They'll settle for point number 2 here, and it will be about even. Ubers actually, skis unable to build during that downtime as GCI was using it forward, and now Blaze actually going to get taken out. Branson trades out. That's not going to be enough though. Can anybody else go down? 4-4 very weak on the side of GCI. Fanny and Eric both going down, but there goes Ash and Laz on the other side. 3 down for both sides. No soldiers for Froyotech, and they're going to be working their way forward. We have a scout behind trying to actually not behind, kind of in front of GCI as they are backing out, and Froyotech will be able to take back their gazebo, take back the number 2. But comes Yai, gets Habib, but will that be enough for
still
GCI
alive.
to keep? He's still going forward. Here comes the collapse. Oh, the collapse from GCI is too much. 4 go down, including the med, and Banny and Blaze both weak. They find Laz, that's Banny with the kill, and here comes GCI. They're going to work their way onto point. They're trying to make it 3-2, and they are successful tonight. We have a game. It is 3-2 on this map, number 2. Banny and the side of Froyotech are up 1-0 in maps. Jarrett, this is absolutely crazy. I'm really enjoying this match so far.
Yep, going into another mid, curious to see how this will pan out, if we're going to see a little bit of a slow entry to the next round, or if we're going to go straight to one of the teams last. We have soldiers bombing in right after that. Once again, fake bombs. Ash landing a little bit aggressively, going to get very weak. Has to make sure he's A-OK, but is going to eat fall damage and die. Blaze causing a distraction for his team. But Ski's going down from Yite flanking. Didn't notice that. So once again, just selling out for the medic, causing as much of a distraction as possible. Seems like he went underneath the point as I look on my other screen and see. So nice play from him, making sure that all the deaths on your team aren't for naught, and they're able to put themselves in a position where, even though they might maybe lose their 2 depending, they are going to have Uberad to be able to bust right back in and try to take it back.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what GCI is willing to give up here, as they're taking it very aggressive with positioning. They're going to send in Ash, who will immediately actually back off and now has to be careful. Oh, Banny They will find that kill, actually. So maybe an early death that GCI didn't want. Now working their way forward is the combo. The Uber gets popped out. Eric and Police both going to be found. Can they find Habib as well? They do. Now looking for the scout. Slam very weak right now. Can they find him through choke right now? No! Oh, Skis is being able to heal him up. So now GCI working the way onto mid, able to find 2 points with this Uber, although they will be at a disad, and I'm expecting to see it come right back the other way in favor of Froyotech Jarrett as they get ready to hold on to their second and maybe push forward depending on how the time plays out. Again, we are at 25 minutes, or 24 and counting down, left in this map. Map number 2, 3-2 is the score in favor of Froyotech, Jarrett.
Yep, trying to bust through the choke, but it seems like they were taking a little bit of a slower approach. Have to be careful. I think they've kind of recognized, once again, in a scenario where they have to wait so long for their players to respawn from GCI's previous push, they couldn't even use their ad. It just dwindled. By the time they got the respawners there to actually push, they were no longer in a position where the ad was big enough for them to use. So GCI worked their way into Fountain. A lot of damage on the blade is going to push him back a little bit, apply some pressure, and get some space for Laz to maybe bomb in. Has to be careful. It kind of, hurt. Has to make sure that you're A-okay before you bomb in. Trying to create some space for maybe Ash to bomb in. Instead, doesn't see an opening, but it seems like they are not going to jump in quite yet and actually commit. Want to see a very good situation for them before they actually commit their lives and die for it. So, gonna go ahead and back up. Seems like it's gonna be maybe a library rotation. Or maybe they're just backing up to, kind of test things out, but I think they are rotating to a different door to try to bust through in that direction, and it seems pretty open. It's just sticky traps. If they can get through the traps that Habib has laid, either by baiting the doorway or just a missed debt, there you go, Laz behind, and now that is one player that they have to deal with. That it will cause a big distraction for them. Eric going
Alex
back
is
at
weak.
least a little bit. Yeah, have to be careful. Alex getting pretty weak, but Yikes going in. Laz bombing in as well. Gonna be a two-man fight, and
Bomb!
Nice rocket, but not quite enough. Skis has the serve. Yep.
Skis just not popping in the face of a double sack, although I would have liked to see a bit more coordination from the side of GCI there as they go for that play. Now the side of Froyotech is going to be working their way forward, but the Uber is popped out early by GCI trying to find this demo man. The pistol is out now, the bus and Basher unable to collect anything, and now the pressure is in. 4-4 goes down as this Yite Slam is a consolation prize. Alex very weak though for GCI without those heals, as is Ash down to 95. Not looking good. Laz is behind, I think, as is Brand Slam, who will find Blaze but goes down. And just 2 end up living, and the med is not one of them, so Skis will have about a 40. Oh, Laz dying so late as well. This is not what you want to see if you're a GCI fan. Froyotech now in great position to continue working their way forward, although they do have to cap this mid first, which will slow them down. And that will give an opportunity for 4-4 to build up a bit of an Uber at about a 20-30% disad though. So tough situation, Jarrett.
Yep, gonna be down a scout, but you do have an Uber to work with, so there's incentive to push, but you have to be mindful about your flanks to make sure, GSAT doesn't do anything too crazy. So gonna be a little bit of a rotation away from the choke towards the fountain at the last second to kind of shake things up, and thrusting through the doors right at the back. Blaze bombing in to create some space for their team, but Laz bombing in, able to get the force onto Ski, so that's a successful force for them. Getting cleaned up by Eric, who was a little bit lagging behind, but at the end of the day, not quite finding what they want. GCI are on the move, trying to rush the right into mid, chasing down as wherever they can, and Skis is going to fall, as well as Slem, so bit of a sticky situation for Froyotech to be in. They've lost 3. Habib bombing in, trying to find a way into 4-4, able to hit the last side with his last dying breath, and making sure that 4-4 is going in the grave with him.
Look at that. That is the play that Froyotech, excuse me, keep mixing up those, got that F at the beginning of the word. Brinsome gonna go taken down by Banny, but that play by Froyotech finding 404 there at the end is crucial for them to hold on a little bit longer, especially now as spawners are starting to work their way forward. There will be no ad for GCI to work with, actually at just within 5%, and Froyotech confident in their DM. They're going to send 2 soldiers forward, or at least 1. Yai goes down, Habib getting so much damage in, and also Laz getting taken out. Blaze is the consolation prize. Banny, oh, and Slam taken out as well. Ash on the other side, 4-4, he's weak. Can anybody find the damage in? Doesn't look like it so far. 3-on-3 situation, a scout and demo for the red team and for the blue team as well. Now, oh, the pipe onto Eric, takes out the scout, and Skis is taking out Brand Slam with the help of Alex. Now just the tempo jumping in.
Oh, he hits that though.
Crater. And that is a one fight, just winning the DM fight, which is not the classic thing to do against Froyotech, but GCI proving themselves worthy of this number 2 seed. They will lose Yite. Yeah, Bandy Rockets have been clean tonight. Has that nice old ping. They're sitting at, what is he at? 23 ping, about what I get to Virginia. But yeah, we'll see now what GCI is able to do to work their way through. Have about a 70% ad as they have their Uber to work with, Jarrett.
They're trying to work their way through the library. Brand Slam is going to fall, so no combo scout for the side of them working their way into the next point. Have to back up and regroup. Yite is now here, so they have a scout to go ahead and chase if they decide they can want the train to keep on rolling. The ad is still somewhat usable, but you know, Brand Slam, there are some situations where you could maybe say, okay, let's just slow things down and don't, you know, bite off more than we can chew and rush things. So they are going to go the route, just playing a little bit slow, just going to let Skis get his Uber and just try to break a good old-fashioned stalemate into the next point. We've seen them go ahead and try to do some plays where Laz has gone behind and found some success, although I'm not sure if they will do the same this time around, depending on how Froyotech is situated. They are really close to the fountain area, both teams trying to burst the way through once again, getting some decent space, but nothing too crazy. Brand Slam applying some pressure, going to see a counter initiation from both soldiers, and Laz is going to go ahead and go behind just from a different doorway, but it seems like GCI are keeping up the pace. They're staying inside and creating enough of a distraction to allow Ash to go ahead and do some fake bombs as well. Laz is not quite pulled the trigger yet and going inside, but they are going to have...
Here comes Laz!
Laz bombing in, trying to get on the furthest...
Oh no, fails!
He tried to go onto the furthest person that was forward, but not able to quite hit the marks. That is going to be the sack wave. Unsuccessful, and Yite's going to get caught out inside the library as well. So 2 down for the side. GCI will prompt Froyotech to begin to push their way through. Blaze really weak, has to be careful, but Alex is getting pushed back a little bit. Uber will get popped out from both sides, and it seems like Brand Slam is on the chase to Habib. Will get flashed and be A-OK. Slemnish trying to find his way onto Ash, but will get disconnected and dive around the corner.
The
Pop
Uber
in the air, will not get shot, but will eventually fall when he lands. So no medic for the side of GCI, and I think Froyotech knows their positioning is not that great. Just go ahead and back up all the way to 2. Yep, Brand Slam is on the chase
Gotta
through
find
the choke.
Blaze.
Not able to quite hit the mark. Blaze will take the arrow and live to fight another day, but Banny will fall on the other side of things. Alex trying to burst his way through as well as Ash. Both
Look
very
at the
weak, so
health.
have to be careful. Eric on a cleanup duty and able to get a 4K right now, making sure that his team is A-OK and not get cleaned up by the side of the
Laz?
GCI player.
Oh,
nice
no.
rockets from Laz to stop Eric's train of terror onto the other team, but it is not enough to stop Froyotech from getting on the midpoint and capping it off.
The train of terror, I think, is what you just said about Eric. Yite coming up on Sniper for the side of GCI, but Eric, if he hadn't been stopped by those rockets, would be just tearing through at the side of GCI right now. Some soldier mobility right now from Laz, trying to figure out where he wants to sit. Looks like GCI is going to be happy to sit up here on these bats, if you will, as here comes the Uber from the side of Froyotech, trying to get this early pick onto the medic, but no, GCI and the side of 404 are going to be all the way out. They're happy to give up this point if they're able to hold on to their medic. 404 getting very weak before using in, actually trying to find now Skis. The cap is found onto second. You have to be cognizant of back.
Oh my god,
Eric
Banny
is
just
going for it. 404 gets taken out, actually. Oh, there's 3 down for GCI right now. They find Eric and Banny. And now the fight is on to second. Can they find anything else? Slam and Ash going to trade out. Only 2 alive for GCI, and Laz's 2 health goes down. Yite able to find a pack, but only 1 alive. Where is he right now? Spawner's coming forward now. It's going to be 4 alive to try to hold on to this point. It is a 3-2 game in favor of Froyotech. Blaze in a position.
Oh,
The trap is so big from Habib, and now Blaze, look at his positioning. He can sit there for free. He's gonna back up, he's gonna regroup, looks like with Slam, but the side of Froyotech working their way through. Laz is gonna be jumping. Here comes Bandit getting it. Oh my god, the air shots, they're so nice tonight. 3 down, 4 down from GCI, 5 down. Got some spotters coming forward. The cap is coming forward now as everybody is dying, and that is 4-2-2 in favor of Froyotech. That panning ear shot, chef's kiss. That was beautiful.
His poster video that put them in the situation in the first place. After the fight was over, he flanked from library and just killed Alex and 4-4 almost by himself and put them in that situation. So definitely hats off to him. Him and Habib are definitely playing very well tonight, and they could close things out depending on how this mid goes, Godfather.
I'm excited to see if GCI is able to turn things around, but so much damage in on the 4-4 trying to find the frag. 10 health goes down, and only 2 alive right now. BrandSlam and Laz doing their best. They find a few actually, but can't find skis as 8 go down total, and Froyotech able to, or excuse me, GCI will be able to cap this one out, but keeping their meta alive means in more ways than one, they have this mid fight won, and now just waiting for their moment to work their way forward. They have to sit on their second for a little while longer, Jared, but with that just now a little slow to build, to be honest, but you know, they have all the time in the world to work with as they work their way back in onto mid.
Yep, trying to figure out which door is best they want to burst through, and it seems like library is going to be the way they are deciding to go. Habib trapping up to get ready for any soldier that might bomb through, but it seems like a little bit of slow-paced entry into the mid at the beginning, trying to work their way through without using is always a really nice thing to be able to use it into the enemy teams too, if you have that luxury, and it seems like even though they won't have that luxury to be able to use it with an ad, they still find their way onto the mid without using and put themselves in a situation where they can once again break their way into GCI's second during this upcoming stalemate.
And we have, as you mentioned, you mentioned stalemate, and that, of course, meaning full Ubers for both teams. We'll have to see, does anyone go back to swap off? It doesn't look like it, as Froyotech, with their positioning, it looks like they might just want to take the exchange soon in a moment, healing up their players, making sure everybody is nice and buff banning, exchanging a little bit of spam plays over by Fountain, and Yite has to back off, as to Slam on the other side of things. So yeah, we should be stabilizing here a bit. Froyotech again looking to close things out. 13 and just about 13 minutes on the clock. It's a 4-2 game on map number 2. Froyotech looking to close it out. They are working their way forward. Captain Scout going forward. Here comes the bomb from Blaze as well, getting a bit of damage, and he'll go down. Now can the Scout clean up on any of that damage? No, but they will find Laz. So a bit of a pick. 2 for 1. Maybe not the best sack away from the side of Froyotech. GCI having that player advantage of just 1. Gonna work their way forward, but they have to be careful for all the spam from the side of Froyotech, which will slow them down. They'll back off, and it looks like we might stabilize again here, Jarrett, before the next fight.
Yep, try number 1 didn't quite work for Froyotech, but they definitely will be able to find a different approach to try to break their way into GCI's second hold. Last time they went for a sniper play to break things through, noticing how passive GCI was playing, and they're kind of playing just as passive this time, but not running a sniper this time is going to be their play. They're going to stay cookie cutter and try to figure out what they want to do in terms of finding a pick if they can't find 4-4. So far, 4-4 I feel like has been pretty safe on most of these solos. He's staying out of sight lines. He's playing pretty far back, so honestly, if you're running a sack wave and you can't kill the medic, maybe just kill something else. It goes back to, maybe Alex, because sometimes the medic and demo aren't necessarily connected with the beam as often as you might see, so gonna be interesting to see what they decide to gun for. Trying to work their way through the fountain, a lot of damage.
Oh, the damage on Alex!
Almost 10 HP. It's like I said, not beamed in a scenario during a stalemate is very, very sketchy for a Doman. He lives through it though with 9 more HP than he needs, and it seems like BrandSlam and friends are working their way immediately through the choke over towards the fountain area to get a pick, and it seems like it'll be even Uber chain, but Skis has not quite used. They've been chasing Banny instead of actually forcing this Uber, so Skis' Uber is going to be so much grander than the opposing team, rushing the way through fountain, trying to get the way, and the 4-4 has to be careful and will eventually die. The Froyotech scouts collecting 2, and this is not good for the side of GCI. They went for that Banny frag, and they got it, but they just left them with dis out at the end of the day, and 4-4 is going to die for it.
That is just not what you want to see on the Uber from the side of GCI here. You needed to go onto Skis immediately. You needed to find at least that pop, if not the drop. And now you are going to be sitting at a dis out of about 50%. Got BrandSlam coming up on Engineer, but the question is, will that be enough? Just that gun? And I would argue no here as they begin to work their way on to Last. Is Froyotech trying to get some damage in his Last. He's not going to find too much success though. the positioning from Froyotech is going to be so much now coming through under. Ben Ansley dies early. Laz able to find that frag. Here comes the Uber from the side of Froyotech, working their way in, trying to find damage in, but not a lot. Now here's the collapse, trying to find plays, and successful is Laz. Ash is traded out on the other side, and Froyotech's going to back off, and we'll have about a 40-50% ad for the side of 404 and GCI to work with, Jared.
Yeah, no sorters for the side of Froyotech in position, 1 dead and 1 rolling out, so they don't have to deal with bombs as you walk through, just sticky traps, and Habib does not have them in the places where 404 is currently standing, so this cap should go their way, but actually, it's on the other side of the map. Yite is going to die to one of the sticky traps I was talking about. Last falling as well, so the flank is in shambles for the side of GCI. The Uber will get forced by Blaze, but Eric is working his way towards last. They've lost their flank, they've lost 3 players, despite, oh, but wait, they've capped it, so you have to be, you know, they can't get back cap, but you have to back up the best you can, but it's not quite enough. They will fall. They just get pinched. Like, they got the cap, but there were so many people behind that there was nowhere to run, and that will be an overall wipe coming from GCI and a swift recap from Froyotech. Not to mention, Skis lived throughout all of it, is at 90%, and they're starting to peek these doors already.
Skis living is the death sentence for GCI as they work their, as Froyo, works their way forward. Eric Cavi?
He did post Uber at heavy last time, and it didn't not work. He didn't really like.
There you go.
Yeah.
So GCI,
to solidify
GCI
it.
has to be careful here as Froyotech works their way in. Offensively gets the medic kill immediately. Again, the offensive heavy coming in from Froyotech. Eric going for some crazy plays, and now 3 go down for the side of GCI, and the damage is in. Oh, the pipes from Alex finding a couple, and getting one more as Blaze goes down. Finally, Vanny finding Alex. Now this heavy damage will seal the deal. Offensive heavy. What a strat. It just works.
Yeah, had the time for it.
And immediately we are immediately I had to make sure that he was going to actually be joining us, but immediately we were graced with the presence of Banny after taking this win, and also Habib joining us here, the players from Froyotech, after a 2-0 win. We haven't even taken a look at logs, but gentlemen, congrats on your win. You are making it again to grand finals, the defending champs. How do you feel about this win against the number 2 seeded team?
Feeling good.
Oh, it's 1 a.m.
It is 1 a.m. That is true. I agree.
Super ADHD'd out. That match took everything.
So how did you guys feel about finally playing a 5ZP in a match versus them so far? You know, you're on a Koth train for a while, but the viewers who watch the streams don't necessarily see, unless they're just like watching one of your personal streams for scrims or whatnot, how you guys fare in 5ZP versus this team on a normal basis. Would you say that this is a normal occurrence and what you kind of expected coming out of, you know, Villa in particular, or how did that go in terms of results versus anticipation?
Yeah, it's a good point that we've only played matches against them on Koth, but strangely, it seems that they've stopped favoring Koth as much as we've approached playoffs. So we made sure to slide another one in there. Thankfully, not clear cut this time. I would have probably lost my mind if we played that map a 3rd time against them, but we opted for Bagel because it's a map we've been practicing a lot lately. As far as 5CP, we do pretty well against them in scrims, but they're definitely the toughest team to play against. They're, you know, obviously really good. They have a lot of, you know, good players that go for a lot of plays. And the main thing though is if we can get Habib, you know, alive, then we tend to do really well.
Yeah.
Very true. Good point. Going back, flashback to the first map in Bagel, it was a little bit back and forth when you compare the halves that went off, you know, 2-0 going in either direction depending on which half it was. Can you give us a little bit of insight on how the half was when you guys lost it wasn't the second half, I think? You lost the 2 rounds and had to make some adjustments.
I just wanted to feed, and then my team was like, stop feeding, so then I stopped feeding, and then we just won, to be honest with you. That's literally it. I literally just want to feed. A 4K is my birthright.
It's not worth it, Habib.
I know.
But yeah, that was a big factor. I mean, that tends to always be the thing is Habib needs to be reminded to be patient, to chill, sit back, and not die. Once he does that, then we tend to be able to work a lot more picks and stuff. But they did some good adjusting as well. Like the second
Oh
half,
yeah, for sure. They're good.
for one thing I know from my perspective, I was getting shut down a lot because the first half I got behind a lot, the left side, managed to get some kills in like 4-4. But second half, I wasn't really able to because Laz and Yite were really trying to lock that down. So then we tried kind of doing the same to them. We're like, okay, if they're gonna deny me, well, why don't we deny Ash? So it's just always this sort of battle to make a slight adjustment to find those weak points and overwhelm them, I guess.
Well, gentlemen, coming off that win, what very well may be your grand finals matchup, as you have advanced once again to that spot, looking to defend your title. Are you what are you going to be looking for in what assuming you guys place or face, excuse me, GCI once again, what are you going to be looking for in that matchup?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we will face them again. I think they'll. Well, my guess is. It's a tough call between Mal and Rebirth, but I actually think Mal might be a bit stronger at the moment. Rebirth seems to be on a bit of a decline. That match they played against GlobalClan the other day was not pretty. So I kind of am favoring Mal, and then Mal versus GCI. I think GCI wins that easily. So pretty sure we'll see GCI again. As for what will be different, I don't know. It seems like we made a point of like being solid on Koth, so maybe they avoid that. Maybe the Villa pick was a bit of a strange one. I don't think they like won any scrims on Villa, so I don't know why they picked that. Maybe they like the scenery. I don't know what they were thinking with that one. We probably won't see that one again. I have a feeling the grand finals is going to be looking a lot more standard, a lot more like maybe some snake water, some sunshine kind of stuff. That's what I'm thinking is probably going to happen.
We saw Process as the tiebreaker map, so it's already kind of shown that that might be okay between both teams. Is something that could find its way again potentially.
Yeah, it could. Yeah, I think they like that map, and we did struggle on it against Rebirth. So I mean, if you're looking at it from their perspective, they probably want to simultaneously play to their strengths, but also if there's any weaknesses that they see in our play. I won't reveal any of them to them now, but that's on them to find out. They might be able to pick maps strategically that way. Yeah.
Well, definitely anticipating whatever matchup you guys have next, as you're off to Grands. Have to wait for the teams in the lower bracket to continue their run and meet you guys, and we'll wait with bated breath to see who that will be. But ultimately, that is for another day. That is, for the most part, it for us tonight. Do you guys have any last-minute shout-outs before we go ahead and wrap things up for tonight?
Yeah, I got some shout-outs. Shout out, of course, to you guys for casting and running the stream. Shout out to RGL for hosting the league. Shout out to the admins for hopefully not letting these playoffs drag on too long. Shout out to everyone who is a wholesome member of the competitive TF2 scene. Anti-shout out to the edgelords. And well played to my team. And of course, a special shout out to Witness and Jay. I hung out with them a bit today. Nice guys. That's about it.
Anything from you, Habib?
Yeah, shout outs to you guys, of course. Killing it as usual. Shout outs to the viewers. Shout outs to GCI. Good games. Good games. Yeah, that's about it.
Jarrett, any shout-outs from you?
Definitely shout out to you and Dolphin. We've got to put on these casts as much as possible to make sure the viewers can see them. And definitely shout out to the viewers for hanging out and watching day in and day out every time we come out and show you guys a game. So definitely thanks a lot to them.
Well, I would have to say shout out to you, Jarrett, for being just an insane caster. Absolutely crazy on the mic here tonight. Shout out to Dolphin for doing so much work behind the scenes for us. Go follow my Twitter at GodfatherCasts. But that is pretty much it from us. This has been Froyotech versus GlobalClan Ice, the upper bracket semifinals in RGL Invite 6 Season 5. Froyotech is able to take it 2-0, and they will be moving on to grand finals. Of course, the next matchup is Rebirth versus Mal. That's next Wednesday, I believe, at 11 p.m. on this here channel. But yes, I've been Godfather, joined by Jarrett with Dolphin behind the scenes. Have a great night.